listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504-341-8255, the New Orleans Talk Network.
FanView Live, where real fans talk about real sports, only on the New Orleans Talk Network. Like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, because we're not just a sports talk show, we're a talk show about sports.
Yo, man, it's Fred. Listen, don't forget to like and subscribe to our New Orleans Talk Network page on. Keep going. What's up, everybody? This is your boy Fred. Listen, don't forget to like our page on YouTube, FanView, Facebook, FanView, and on Twitter, FanView New Orleans.
My name is Jaquan Jackson, SMU commit, and you tune into FanView.
Yo, what's up? This is Pooga Williams, 2017 Mr. Football. You are now tuned into FanView Live on New Orleans Talk Network. Yo, what's up? This is Pooga Williams, 2017 Mr. Football. You are now tuned into FanView Live on New Orleans Talk Network. Yo, what's up? This is Pooga Williams, 2017 Mr. Football. You are now tuned into FanView Live on New Orleans Talk Network. Yo, what's up? This is Pooga Williams, 2017 Mr. Football. You are now tuned into FanView Live on New Orleans Talk Network.
Hey, yo, what's up? It's your boy, DJ Slick Daddy.
This DJ Slick 514.
And of course, I'm your girl, Black Coco.
Tune into the Live Line, New Orleans Talk Network, every Tuesday, 7 to 8:30, with all the trending topics.
And you can also check out my mix, DJ Slick Mix Quote 1 and 2.
And of course, check out Coco's Sex Tips of the Week.
And hashtag TTBS. That's that bullshit. It's the Live Line, New Orleans Talk Network, Tuesday, 7 to 8:30. We're always live. Let's go.
Well, what's up, everybody? This is boy Coach Hurricane.
I said, man, start heading for the exits. Start heading for the exits. Beat the traffic. I'm talking stupid.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to FanView. Real fans talk sports. On the Orleans Talk Network. Listen to your boy Fred.
GSportz in the building. Coach Hurricane here.
Man, we got a lot to talk about, man. First and foremost, man, listen, I always give a big shout out and salute to the armed forces, Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, first responders, local police department, local fire department. Thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Big shout out, salute. Each and every Thursday, we give a big shout out salute to them. If no one else gives y'all a shout out salute, FanView Live, we'll do it every week. Again, tune into us on FanView Live on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe to our page on FanView Nola on Twitter. Don't forget to follow my man GSportz. You're trying to get all the highlights for high school football, basketball, college. GSportz in the building. In the building. Man, listen, we got a lot to talk about today. We got my man Drew Brees making history.
Oh yeah.
My quarterback. It's my quarterback. It's my quarterback. Drew Brees had everybody in the Superdome, the T.O. syndrome. T.O. syndrome.
Shedding tears.
Shedding tears. Drew Brees breaking records around here.
Oh yeah.
Not just passing yards, but for the most grown men crying. Y'all tune in. Y'all, if y'all seen the video, tune that on mute. Listen, we got a lot to get into. We got Saints. We got to talk a little Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Odell Beckham, his comments. We got a little Jimmy Butler.
The one and only Jimmy Butler.
One and only Jimmy Butler. Listen, y'all stay tuned in for these next 2 hours, man. Listen, we got a lot to talk about in sports. I'm not watching Major League Baseball. My Yankees are out. The Red Sox took care of business.
And y'all wrong for that, because y'all had the best team money can buy and let them people beat y'all
3-1.
No, it wasn't 3-1, huh? It was 3-2.
3-2. No. Yankees won 1 game. Yankees won 1 game.
1 game.
It was 3-1?
3-1.
I'm sorry.
And as a Yankee fan,
It's funny how y'all teams always these prestigious teams in sports.
The Red Sox got a higher bankroll than us right now. They're gonna change.
You sure?
Oh, I'm positive.
I'm talking about this year.
This year. Oh yeah.
No, bro. Y'all was loaded. Y'all was loaded.
They got a higher bankroll than us this year.
Yeah, look, we got a few people. Akeem Kimber, my dogs, Jeremy, Henry, miss you guys and the fam, at homecoming. Yeah. Marty B, man, look, best sports show on the planet, man.
Oh, yeah, Marty B. Appreciate you, bro.
No problem. Listen. Y'all tag at FanView at FM. Listen, we got a lot to talk about. First and foremost, we got to talk about Saints, Redskins Monday night. Man.
White Uptown,
White Uptown,
man.
Man, look, the building was electric. GSportz was in the building. What was the energy like? Monday Night Football, history on the line. Drew Brees makes the for the record, the pass, the Traquan, the rookie receiver for his first NFL touchdown, 60-some yards. I mean, how was that experience to be in the building for that?
Look, leading up to the game, I got to the game an hour and a half before game time because I wanted to feel the atmosphere. I wanted to meet the people. I wanted to talk to the people. I wanted to troll the Washington Redskins fans.
Trent Williams, you all right?
I wonder if you saw that Redskin Road War. I don't know if you got a chance to meet him.
Nah, I didn't get to meet him. I didn't get to meet him, but that's why I wanted to get that. And I never get that early. I always get there 15, 20 minutes before game time. But this particular night, I said I'm going to get there an hour and a half. I wanted to enjoy myself. I wanted to feel the atmosphere. And I'm telling you, bro, when you first pull up to the stadium, it felt like a playoff atmosphere. That's how intense it felt. Everybody just knew we was going to blow these people out. I mean, it just had that kind of feel to it. I just knew with Drew Brees getting ready to break that record, I knew we was going to be hitting on all cylinders. And in the stadium, when you got inside the dome, it was electric. They had the second line band in there. People was second line and people was full of that stuff.
I'm full of that.
Yeah. Bro, it was a good time in there. And when they did the starting lineups and Drew came out, everybody hollered Drew and all of that kind of stuff. You had Tracy Porter in the building, Devery Henderson, some of the former Saints. They got on the microphone and they put them on the big screen and they talked about the atmosphere and how we got the best fans in the world and stuff like that. It was just great. Seeing Drew Brees just hitting on all cylinders once again. We 4-1 and the dude is just playing lights out. 76% completion rate and still hasn't thrown an interception this season. I knew the Redskins didn't have a shot in hell to stop us. Mark Ingram set the tone early with the screen pass. Running, I mean, he didn't have 100 yards rushing, but he had some good runs in the game. I think he ended the game with like two touchdowns.
Two rushing touchdowns.
But the play they threw to Traquan Smith, I mean, you couldn't have drew it up any better than that, man. Traquan Smith down the sideline, wide open. And as a matter of fact, I went back and looked at some things, some press conferences from that game. Jay Gruden actually said that was Josh Norman's fault. Yeah, it was a blown coverage.
Blown coverage.
It was a blown coverage.
He sat in his zone. He squatted on that play.
I think he was worried about Kamara coming out the backfield. That's why you saw him do that.
He squatted on that play.
And there had some people saying, that's anti-Saints fans, saying they thought the whole thing was staged. I say, bro, you got to go back and look at the play. You think these people want the record set on them? Stop it. I refuse to believe that. Stop thinking about all these conspiracy theories and just respect greatness. Drew Brees was great. He threw a hell of a pass to Traquan Smith, put Traquan Smith on the map. Now I think that's going to get his confidence going. I think you're going to see Sean Payton use him and insert him in the lineup more this year. And I think you see that's just another weapon that Drew Brees going to have at his disposal. But it was great to be in the building, man. Drew Brees said all the right things. The moment he had with his kids, saying you could accomplish anything if you work hard for it. Then the interview he did after the game when he got emotional, he talked about everybody that was involved.
Well, Lisa, I'm glad
the team first and how so many people contributed to his success. He never does interviews where you hear him talk about me, and I did this and I did that. It's always about past coaches, past players, trainers. He talked about his grandfather
and his mother.
And his mother that died, and he felt like they played a big role into his success. As a man.
He had tears in his eyes.
And as a football player.
It didn't want to come out his eyes, but you can look at his eyes. It was all red.
And that's what touches you about Drew Brees, and that's what makes me root so hard for Drew Brees, because the guy is a stand-up guy, team first, and he said it in the locker room after the game. He said, look, I love what we did tonight. We got the win. You know, this means a lot to me, breaking his record. But we got bigger business. We got bigger fish to fry. We got a bigger prize that we're going for, and that's that Super Bowl ring. And he put that into perspective after the game, and I love what I saw when I saw him say that. So that just let me know a lot about, you know, what this season has to offer from us, and I think we are hitting all cylinders. And I'm going to tell y'all like this, and I said it after the game to the Redskins fans and to the rest of the Who Dat Nation.
You got to start trolling them people.
I'm going to keep trolling them, dude. If we get home field advantage, punch a ticket to Atlanta, I'm telling you now, we're going to be in the Super Bowl. I promise you. That's how confident I am with the Saints right now, and the way we hitting all cylinders and getting Mark Ingram back. I think that's going to see, you're going to see us slow the game down a little more. You ain't going to see Drew throwing the ball around 45 times a game.
Pass attempts going to decrease.
And that's going to give our defense less snaps, which is going to make them play at a higher level, and I think our defense is getting better. So it was just great to be in the building, bro, and there's no place like the Superdome. Sorry. I'm biased.
Man, look, man. Just to touch on that one special moment from Drew, that play showed everything about Drew Brees. That showed the type of quarterback he is, and it's pretty poetic justice-like to see how one play of him breaking the record summarize the type of quarterback he's been for his whole career. Drew's never had the elite arm strength. He's been accurate his whole career, even going back to Purdue. He's always had phenomenal touch and know where to place it, but what was often overlooked is how mentally involved he is after the snap. You got a lot. Peyton Manning got a lot of stuff for what he got, a lot of accolades for what he did pre-snap.
Yeah.
But when the play starts happening, you know. That's a whole nother animal.
Right.
Drew Brees is the best once the play starts happening, figuring out what the defense is trying to do, counter it, and put the ball right in the spot.
Right.
You look at the play, he knew he had Kamara flashing to the flat.
And it looked like he was about to throw it to him.
Everybody's eyes was on Kamara. He actually, if you look at it, he actually wanted to go to Mike Thomas. He wanted to go to Mike Thomas.
Somebody said Mike Thomas is opening up.
He opens up, he looks at Mike Thomas, and the safety starts drifting that way. Then he knows he has Kamara on the swing, so that's his second read. So he looks down, he sees 2 out of the 3 defenders that's in that area coming down on Kamara. Well, you got Cameron Meredith on the streak, and you got Traquan Smith on the streak. So he looks at Kamara, and then he touches it without looking downfield. He touches it on the rope to Traquan Smith. If the safety would have still been a flat foot read, he would have made an interception. That's how phenomenal the no look touch pass was. So he had to play. He was back there by himself trying to play Meredith and Smith. Dumps it off to Smith. Smith takes it to the wrap. That shows you all the things you have to know about Drew Brees. As a team, as a whole, the Redskins came out and said, "All right, we know you get Mark Ingram back. We know it's the Drew Brees nights and all that stuff. But one thing you're not about to do, you're not about to get your running game going." So I give kudos for them for that. They say, look, if you're going to beat us, beat us with Drew Brees. That's stupid as hell. But hey, but it showed. We could not run the ball. We couldn't run the ball. But you open up the floodgates. You open up the floodgates. And then when White Uptown comes in the game and you starting to see, man, I'm telling you, what Sean is doing right now, he's putting a lot of stuff on film. All he did from week to week to show you the read option with him. Read option. Today, Monday he showed you, we're gonna go straight sweep with it. We ain't reading that, we going straight sweep with it. And it's for and I know it's certain, like I know he's telling him, hey, keep it, pull it, whatever, because on that 3rd and 1, if he actually gives it to Kamara hit his head on the goalpost.
Right.
So I know he's not reading it. But the thing is, as a defensive coach, you always plan for the worst case scenario.
Right.
The worst case scenario, you don't want him to get gone because you know how fast, you know how fast he is, how big he is.
Right.
That's a tough load coming out there, and he doesn't get that many licks on him.
Right.
So that's a fresher body. So you're going to overcompensate for everything you see for Taysom Hill. So you ain't doing nothing but expanding the package for him that much more. But defense played phenomenal. The pass rush.
Second week in a row.
The pass rush. And this is what I was crying for 3 weeks ago. Put Marcus Davenport on the field in non-passing situations. Let that left tackle, right tackle, wherever you putting him at, let him feel how fast and how athletic he is. So when passing situations come, they got to overcompensate for it. Because if I tell you I got a pass rusher and I just line him up there, you're not going to know if he's a speed rusher, power rusher, nothing. So you tipping the hand to him already. But now this guy, Trent Williams, felt his speed. So now he got to jump out to him already and then set up everything they want to do in pass rush situation for him. But overall, man, the dome was electric. The atmosphere, I'm telling you, it brought me back to the 09 run when we started off 13-0. I'm seeing the dome be the dome again.
Yeah,
that's trouble for the league when the dome is the dome.
Trouble.
And hats off to Sean Payton for doing something you really don't see in football. You don't see the standing ovation, because in basketball you get so many timeouts. You'll make a timeout at a certain situation, you'll pull a player out, and you get everybody, that player get the spotlight on him. Because you only got 3 timeouts in the game, but spots, shout out for him for taking that time to letting him come back out.
But listen, man, it was a phenomenal game. Drew Brees making history. The Saints team as a whole making history, man. It was just a phenomenal Monday night. Obviously, if you're a Redskins fan, you're coming into this environment. Saints being the better team with the better record, history on the line, performing that way. By halftime, I told everybody the game was over. The Saints up by, they're up 26-6. I mean, in the Superdome, listen, with Alex Smith at quarterback and Jay Gruden as your coach.
Check down Shorty.
I really can't see how y'all going to make a comeback. I don't really see Alex Smith as that kind of guy that plays from behind, along with Jay Gruden. From that point on, I just knew the Saints were going to win this game in decisive fashion. And when you see that kind of happen, when you see that offense going and ticking, man, and you see that defensive line, man, Davenport getting stunned. I think Davenport had, to me, I tweeted at people, if I'm on Twitter, listen, this was a breakout game, and the way
he played real good.
He played exceptional. And not every play was a sack, but just the pressure. And you're like, man, just the pressure he's putting. Cam Jordan getting sacked. I mean, Sheldon Rank is getting sacked. I mean, and constant pressure on Alex Smith, man. And you saw that even with the guy, I think Lattimore got hurt. Justin Hardy come out there getting the interception, almost taking it back to the house. I mean,
should have hosted.
Should have hosted.
You gotta host that, man.
You bad.
You bad. He should be on your bad section. You gotta host that, man.
You gotta house that pick.
Come on, man.
You gotta house that pick. But there's a lot, that went into that game, man. Again.
We made Alex Smith look like playoff Alex Smith. He a phenomenal regular season quarterback, but he looked like it was playoff time outside away from San Francisco.
Playoff time meltdown Alex.
But what do I always say? You only good as your pass rush. We got pressure on the passer consistently on Monday night, and our secondary played good.
2 picks.
Our secondary looked really good on Monday night. I mean, and don't act like they don't have no weapons. They got Vernon Davis. They got Jordan Reed. They got Jamison Crowder. They got some pieces. They got Thompson coming out the backfield. Who you got to worry about? Who is Kamara like? Not saying he's Kamara, but that's the kind of
pass him back.
Yeah. Third down back, get you matched over the linebacker. They got some good pieces, and we made them look abysmal.
I think the
straight up
hats should go off to Dennis Allen, because what he did was say, beat us without Jordan Reed. He took Jordan Reed out, and Jordan Reed wants to come across. They like to give Jordan Reed going across the middle, matched up against the linebackers. Who, he's a phenomenal tight end. Got wide receiver speed. They cover the middle phenomenal. They put Anzalone to his side most of the time. Somebody that can run with him. Then pass him off to Demario Davis, and by that time you get to him, the rush was already in your face. So by eliminating him, he didn't have a catch to the end of the third quarter.
I didn't even know Jordan Reed was on the field.
And that's why I say hats off to him. When you take away a player of that talent. Look, any other game, Reed goes off. Mm-hmm. No matter what the record say, check his stat line. The dude goes off. To me, he's the third best tight end in the league. You know, that's how phenomenal he is. But
when he stay healthy,
that's true. He has that. He has that Tyler Eifert. But when he's on the field, you better know it. But to say, look, you gotta beat us with Dobson, Richardson, Thomas, and Crowder. And Crowder didn't get no smoke.
No, right.
So you know what I'm saying. So that you made Alex Smith uncomfortable by taking his primary guy away from him.
And they couldn't run the ball with Agent Peterson.
No.
Agent Peterson came off a game from the week before with 139 yards and 2 touchdowns. We had a lot of gap integrity. And we did not let him bust the long runs and get to the second level too many times.
He only had that one play when he kind of got.
Well, that was a pass play.
That was a pass play.
Right. He had a run play that got like 5 yards, but Von Bell set the tone that quick. Von Bell came down, legal tackle, shoulders into the thigh, and put him on. But he limped off the field. He was like, you know what?
Mm-hmm. Terrence Moore says, he said T. Hill should be labeled as the first athlete in the NFL. He shouldn't be labeled as quarterback. #facts. And Frank Bridges says linebackers did their job. Travis Johnson says, yes, the pressure. Yes, sir, that pressure was real. You know, talking about the game. You know, he also says we want that ring. You know, Jerry Barry says Super Bowl goes through New Orleans.
Hey, I said at the beginning of the season, whoever went out of division wins the Super Bowl.
I gotta see more from the Rams before I see that.
Whoever went out of division, and I ain't backing off.
I gotta see.
Whoever went out of division,
because I mean, think about it. So you big on Carolina?
Whoever wins out,
I don't think.
Whoever
Carolina
wins out of division wins Super Bowl.
Well, I'm not big on the NFC East. I think the whole division is atrocious. The North, I mean, going back and forth, but the NFC South to me is still the toughest division, and you got to look at on the West. The LA Rams are a team to be reckoned with. But listen, guys, everybody stay tuned. Listen, our producer's saying we having some difficulties. Listen, y'all stay tuned. We're back in a couple of minutes.
We're gonna
reset. We have to
restart the stream.
We have to restart this stream. But y'all stay tuned. Like the page, so when we shoot out the stream, we'll pick up where we left off. FanView, Real Fans Talk Sports. Add a friend, tag a friend. We'll be right back.
Conversation 504-341-8255. The New Orleans Talk 504-341-8255. The New Orleans Talk Network.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy, DJ Slick Daddy.
This DJ Slick 504.
And of course, I'm your girl, Black Coco.
Tune into the Live Line, New Orleans Talk Network, every Tuesday, 7 to 8:30, with all the trending topics.
And you can also check out my mix, DJ Slick Mix Quote 1 and 2.
And of course, check out Coco's Sex Tips of the Week.
And #TTBF. That's that bullshit. It's the Live Line, New Orleans Talk Network, Tuesday, 7 to 8:30. We're always live. Let's go.
Well, what's up, everybody? This boy, Coach Hurricane here. You can follow me on Facebook at Henry Singleton or on Twitter at HenryHayoU15.
Listen, this is your boy, Fred. Listen, you can follow me on Facebook at Brandon Fred Jones, or you can follow me on Twitter at BFred Jones.
This is Jeremiah Gray, man, with GSportz. You can follow me on Facebook, Jeremiah Gray, A.K.A, and on Twitter, G_paid-in-full-08. Pay me the money! money.
Hey, yo, what's up? It's your boy, DJ Slick Daddy.
This DJ Slick 504.
And of course, I'm your girl, Black Coco.
Tune into the Live Line, New Orleans Talk Network, every Tuesday, 7 to 8:30, with all the trending topics.
And you can also check out my mix, DJ Slick Mix Quote 1 and 2.
And of course, check out Coco's Sex Tips of the Week.
And #TTBF. That's that bullshit. It's the Live Line, New Orleans Talk Network, Tuesday, 7 to 8:30. We're always live. Let's go.
Well, what's up, everybody? This boy, Coach Hurricane here. You can follow me on Facebook at Henry Singleton or on Twitter at HenryHayoU15.
Listen, this is your boy, Fred. Listen, you can follow me on Facebook at Brandon Fred Jones, or you can follow me on Twitter at BFred Jones.
This is Jeremiah Gray, man, with GSportz. You can follow me on Facebook, Jeremiah Gray, A.K.A, and on Twitter, G_paid-in-full 08.
Pay me the money. money.
Hey yo, what's up? It's your boy DJ Slick Daddy.
This DJ Slick 514.
And of course, I'm your girl, Black Coco.
Tune into the Live Line, New Orleans Talk Network, every Tuesday, 7 to 8:30 with all the trending topics.
And you can also check out my mix, DJ Slick Mix Quote 1 and 2.
Yeah, we had this.
We back.
We're back, everyone. Welcome back, FanView Real Fans Talk. So we are back. We had a live conversation going, Saints recapping against the Redskins, man. Look, we 4-1, baby.
Feels good to be 4-1 going into the bye week. Feels great. Phenomenal.
We not like the NFC East. We're struggling to get over 3 wins.
Man,
that's not us. That's not us.
That might be for a later segment in the show. Disappointed.
Well, listen, we're gonna switch gears right quick. We're gonna go to the In the Trenches segment with Coach Hen. For y'all still tuning in, listen. My man Coach Hen been played D-line, coaching D-line for several years now. Coach Hen, let him have it.
Man, look here, man. I'm so tired of the talk of the pretty boys, and without talking about the meat and potatoes of what's going on in the game of football. We told y'all in our recap about the Saints Redskins game about the phenomenal pressure that was put on the whole night long for the Saints D-line. And it started by getting Marcus Davenport on the field. In the first clip you see right here, Marcus Davenport is on the field, but he's what a lot of D-line coaches like to call the shadow or the decoy. We're gonna widen you out. Excuse me. We're gonna widen you out from the best pass rusher and put speed on you right now to collapse the pocket. And you see a good job by Sheldon Rankins by holding he's not getting pressure upfield, he's getting pressure in the pocket to trap Alex Smith in. So there's no escape lanes for him. The only escape lane for Alex Smith is to actually go backwards, what no quarterback wants to do at all. Then you see Cam Jordan does what Cam Jordan does. Mr. Weight Room himself. Bull rush, give me my motherfucking money, get rid of you, and get the sack, and we climbing to new levels, as my man like to do. You know what I'm saying? That's the first play of it. But then you got to go to the dollar one. This is what I've been wanting to see from Marcus Davenport, and they let him loose. The setup of putting him at the speed rusher now opens the gate for everything you want to do. They run a twist. And man, when I tell you to get off on the kid, and watch how he gets off the ball. It's slow, it's steady, but Trent Williams got that respect your mind because I know the speed is coming.
Right.
So as he is kicking out to get the block on Davenport, you see Sheldon Rankins again with a phenomenal pick. Traps the guard, and Trent Williams can't kick back to the inside. So Davenport comes underneath for the sack. Fumble, baby. Sack. No, I'm sorry. This is a regular sack. The regular sack right here. He comes in for the sack. And then on the next clip you see, it's the sack fumble. And when I'm talking about what a ferocious hit he put on him. This time, they run a twist with Cam Jordan and Ayamada. And Jordan gets so much pressure up in the middle that Alex Smith has to drop back and he steps to the left. Would he do that for, ladies and gentlemen? Because Mr. Marcus Davenport introduced himself in a big way to him. Not only do he get the sack, but he gets what defensive line coaches all across the world call as the perfect trifactor. We preach this shit, we practice this shit, and we preach it again. Sack, strip, fumble. Turns into a turnover. Big play, especially it came at a timely down, unnoticed in a football game, unless you're looking for the trenches, baby. Unless you're looking for the trenches. You heard GSportz talk about Chris Thompson, how he's
passing back.
Alvin Kamara-esque. Well, in this zone, this is where the D-line came in perfect for them because they have nobody to cover the running back on this situation. They're actually in a quarters coverage, so they're leaving the flats wide open, and it's a 3rd and long. And they try and Jay Gruden called a perfect play. He did a delay wheel with the running back, but Alex Okafor, being the shiny veteran that he is, decides to widen out on his own and try to keep gapping integrity by himself, rushes upfield, but notices that the running back is peeling out. And without hesitation, he stops and he throws him off of his route, which allows A.J. Klein to redirect because there's nothing for him to cover downfield and get underneath. And now Alex Smith has to pull the ball down and just throw it away and forces them into.
I'll make a perfect throw.
Yeah, right. And forces him to climb back up. There's nobody open, as you see, and he just throws the ball away. And they got to kick a field goal. They could have easily been that could have easily been 14 to 20. Well, I think it was 20.
It was still in the game right now
at the time.
Yeah,
and you made it 10. And then when you know what happens on the next series, we go back, we go down, we score again.
We gonna make history.
That's a huge turn of events. And baby, that's what I got. That's what I get y'all, baby. The in the trenches facts.
That was phenomenal about
trench warfare, baby.
The way you broke that down, and it's the little things like that people don't pay attention to
throughout
the game. The last play was my favorite.
Alex Okafor?
Yeah, because if he doesn't redirect him and mess the timing up, that's a touchdown.
Yeah.
That is exactly a touchdown.
Because he's that kind of playmaker. He's that kind of player. He's going to check him down, and he.
That wasn't no check. I think that was the first read.
He was the read.
That was the first read.
It was a delayed wheel. So they was running. If you could see the big view of it, what they actually had, they had posts. So he was coming, and by them being in cover 4, everything was going that way. Yeah. He was going to come uninvaded, and I don't know how fast I know AJ Klein is sideline fast, but you're getting this guy coming a free release straight up the middle, and Klein cannot get hands on him because by the time he gets to him, it would have been past 5 yards downfield. So he has no choice, but and he would have been in the back of the end zone. That's one of those days that. I know I'm not dumb to the fact. I know offense sell tickets. I know defense wins championship. But people don't want to. People want to. When they see defense, they want to see interceptions. They want to see big hits, and they want to see sacks.
Right.
They don't care about nothing else.
Right.
They don't look at the intricacies in the game, and that's why we brought this segment to y'all, because nobody else will bring it to y'all.
Right.
And that's just how I see it, baby. Trench warfare.
That was phenomenal by Coach Hen.
I
love when you break stuff down in the coaching aspect.
Not everybody gets that. Not everybody. Nobody understands that what's going on.
It's underappreciated. It's underappreciated.
That is a big fact. Because a lot of times, as us fans, I try to go watch it. As I listen to you or Brian Boldinger on Twitter, and that could honestly break down, what actually is happening in the trench, what makes the plays. Because it all starts in the trench. I know we want to praise the quarterbacks. We want to praise the divas, receivers. We all want to praise, some of the running backs and even some of the secondary players. But guys, football will always start and end. I'm not gonna say end, but it starts in the trenches.
Well, it
can end in the trenches.
It starts and ends in the trench. But that's just face the fact. We see Reggie White was a phenomenal player everywhere he went. Bruce Smith was a phenomenal player everywhere he went. But the thing was, they was always the second, third. Charles Haley, was always the second, third person that you always talked about on the team. Why? Because they always had a high-profile quarterback, or they had somebody else high-profile on the team.
John Randall.
John Randall. They would never get the credit because nobody cares about that.
Roy Glover.
The list goes.
And bro. He had like 17 sacks at the D tackle position.
Look,
yes,
that's unheard of.
Unheard of.
Chris Hovan was probably
from the Vikings.
It was
him and John Randall together.
Yeah. He was probably the closest to Warren Sapp I've seen as get off and disruptiveness. But guess what? You didn't hear about the Vikings until Randall Cunningham came there. Then Dante Culpepper. You always heard about their offense. Moss, Reed, Carter, Smith. You never heard about their defense. And their defensive line was ridiculous. But, even the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that won a Super Bowl, you talk about Sapp and Simeon Rice, third and fourth. Why? Why is Rondé Barber getting more credit than them? Why is Derek
McFarlane?
You know what I'm saying? Why is Derek Brooks getting more credit than them? Why is John Lynch getting more credit? Why? Because they play the sexy position. Now, and look, D-line men understand that. They okay with it.
Right.
But now, in this NFL, that's why you see them get paid the big bucks, too, now. Because, like, if you don't pay them, somebody else will.
You look at the Jared McCoys, you start looking at the Aaron Donalds and the Fletcher Coxes of the world.
Look, even you go back 2 years ago when the Broncos won the Super Bowl. Everybody was talking about DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller.
Malik Jackson.
But nobody talked about Malik Jackson, Derek Wolfe. You didn't talk about it then when Malik Jackson leaves, they still had Von Miller. They still had DeMarcus Ware. But that defense was horrible. Well, they wasn't horrible, but they was nowhere near.
Look at this shit.
What it is.
They got Von Miller and they got Chubb on the other side. That's two premier pass rushers, and their defense is struggling this year.
Don't forget about the former first-round pick of Sean Ray.
And Shaquille Barrett.
And Shaquille Barrett. It's a great point. You're going to think about Baltimore. Think about all those great defensive teams. No one wants to talk about Haloti Ngata.
Look, go farther back. When you talk about that, when you talk about the Ravens, first championship, you talk about, you always hear Chris McAllister, Peter Bowell, Ray
Jamie
Lewis,
Sharper.
But damn, what about Tony Saragusa? He wasn't on the first one.
You sure?
He wasn't on the first one. He was still in
He's about when Trent Dilfer?
Yeah.
All right.
But you know,
Tony Saragusa.
Nobody want to talk about Tony Saragusa. Sam Adams. I can't.
Sam Adams.
I can't even think about
the plugger.
Man,
Big Sam Adams.
Big Punisher.
Look, when the Saints started coming back into the fold, nobody wanted to talk about nothing but the offense. Aaron Brooks, and Joe Hahn. And whoever our running back was, because we went through a couple at that time. Before we had Lamar Smith, Rich, Weed Smoker, and Deuce. But nobody was talking about the lunch pack and Norman Hand, Grady Jackson, Darren Howard. And look, Charles Grant before he got fat.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to talk about that. And before we got Will Smith, nobody wanted to talk about them. But that made the defense go. Everybody want to talk about Sammy Knight. Yeah, Sammy Knight was great. Mark Fields was great. But damn, there's a reason why Mark Fields was getting 150-something tackles. He wasn't getting touched. Why wasn't he getting touched? Well, shit, look what's in front of him. And that's just what it is.
That's just what it is. We can go on about the trench. We can talk about the Casey Hamptons of the world. We can talk about the Vince Wolfers of the world.
So underappreciated. But look, Fred said at the beginning of the show all the time, if don't nobody appreciate you, I appreciate you.
There it is.
Let's go in for you right
Let's go check for you in the trench and listen. We got to switch gears. Listen, we got to pose a big question. Everybody tuning in, listen. We did a poll on FanView Live on Facebook, man. Who's your quarterback? Drew Brees, Tom Brady. Got over 300 voters. 280. Drew Brees. 88% Drew Brees. 12% Peyton Manning. We asking everybody here now. Who you taking? Drew Brees. Peyton Manning.
Y'all know how I feel about Peyton Manning. The best regular season quarterback ever. Notice what I said. Best regular season quarterback ever. When he got into the playoffs, he was a little above average. I'm not going to say he was bad, but he was a little above average. He wasn't the same like he was in the regular season. And that's fact. Go back and look at the numbers. Peyton Manning had better weapons than Drew Brees ever thought about having. I mean, this guy played with Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison and Dallas Clark.
At the same damn time.
At the same time. Joseph Adai.
Edgerrin James.
I mean,
Brandon Stokely.
He had so many weapons at his disposal.
Dallas Clark.
I say Dallas Clark.
Okay.
He had so many weapons at his disposal throughout his career. Then when he went to Denver, he had Demaryius Thomas. You had Julius Thomas. You had Emmanuel Sanders. You had weapons everywhere. Wes Welker. You had weapons everywhere you went. And I'm not discrediting Peyton Manning because he had weapons. I'm just saying Drew Brees, the best weapon he's had up until this year would be Jimmy Graham. And some people say Marcus Colston. I mean, I think Marcus Colston was a good receiver, and I really appreciate what he did for the Saints organization. But let's keep it a spade. Let's keep it a band. Marcus Colston was not a household name. If he was, I think he would have at least made one Pro Bowl throughout his career.
He the jack of spades.
Yeah.
You know, a solid card.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Get you a book of time to time, but you draw it out there by itself, you're going to get ate up.
You're going to ate up. Yeah, and I just think that, and Drew Brees has not ever played with the type of defenses that Tom Brady and Peyton Manning has played with. Because you got to think about it. When we won the Super Bowl in 2009, we had the number one, I don't think we had number one total defense, but I think we was like.
Turnover defense.
We created, I think we had like, 30 something
turnovers.
You know,
and the number turnover defense.
We had the most turnovers in the league that was very opportunistic.
Raper Man was a big part of that.
Yeah.
He had 10 of them.
He had 10
of them.
Yeah. Drug, date rape drug man.
Bill Cosby Jr.
Yeah. We got a lot of turnovers that year. We got Drew Brees a lot of possessions that year. So when you give somebody like Drew Brees multiple possessions, then he's supposed to get, he's going to carve you up. And I think that's why you've seen us win the Super Bowl in 2009. This year and last year, we had good defenses. We should have been in the NFC Championship last year. We know that. It took a Minnesota miracle for us to lose that game. But I think that when you give Drew Brees a really good defense, it don't have to be a top 5, top 10. If you give us a top 15 defense, you're going to see Drew Brees put us in a position to be able to hold that Lombardi trophy. But that has not been the case throughout his career. And I think you got to take that into account when you're talking about Drew Brees and Peyton Manning. Now, people going to hold the record of 1-5 on the road in the playoffs against Drew Brees.
Chris Bell said the Saints we were number 20th in total defense in 2009, 17th in points allowed, but number 1 in turnovers.
Man, I don't care what you say. Turnovers is more valuable than yards allowed. I'm sorry, but that's the knock that Drew Brees gets because he's 1-5 on the road in the playoffs, and you know he hasn't been to multiple Super Bowls and whatnot. But like I say, he hasn't had the weapons that Peyton Manning has had. He hasn't had the defense that Peyton Manning had. Think about that defense that Peyton Manning won with the Broncos with Von Miller and all them boys. That defense was stacked.
Bradley Roby.
They were stacked. They were stacked. The year when he won with the Colts. If people really go back and do their research,
Dwight Freeney,
they should have lost that game in I think it was the AFC Championship or it might have been the divisional playoff against the Ravens.
The divisional playoff, not because the AFC Championship they beat the Patriots.
Right. So all right. So it was divisional playoff. They played Baltimore in Baltimore. Peyton Manning played terrible. Terrible.com. He threw 3 interceptions, but it was the defense that came alive. Bob Sanders was the defensive player of the year that year. You had Dwight Freeney and Mathis coming off the edge. They ran that nice cover 2 scheme, and it fit what they did. And once you got a lead when you run that cover 2 scheme, it was hard to come back on them Colts.
That's the year that we get Allen from.
Yeah. So and then in the Super Bowl,
Colts were 13-3 that regular season too.
In the Super Bowl, these people played at the Bears. They went against Rex Grossman. If you don't remember who Rex Grossman is, please look him up. Please look at what this guy did. Peyton Manning really went against below average quarterback in the Super Bowl.
The only touchdown in that Super Bowl for the Bears was the Devin Hester open the kickoff.
And that's my point. And the Super Bowl with the Broncos, I feel like, in my personal opinion, the defense won that game.
They did.
That's how I feel. And you saw what happened when Peyton Manning went against the Seahawks. They got blew out. They got blew the hell out, and it was bad. I remember that game. So my point is, yes, I'm not trying to disrespect.
I lost money on that game.
I'm not trying to disrespect Peyton Manning by no stretch of the imagination. I think he's a great quarterback. He's one of the better quarterbacks of all time. But if you ever think about putting this guy before Drew Brees, you're sadly mistaken. Drew Brees is the second best quarterback in my mind of all time. First is Tom Brady. Let's give credit where it deserves. Stop putting White up Tom number 2 above Drew Brees.
I'm gonna keep it 125% factual right here, folks. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, system quarterbacks. System quarterback. You don't believe the facts? Every person that ever left that left Peyton Manning was no longer successful. Dallas Clark was perennial Pro Bowler, on pace to set records from the tight end position. Peyton, he leaves Peyton Manning, he doesn't do nothing. Marvin Harrison retired. Reggie Wayne was at the tail end of his career when he left. Edgerrin James was no longer Edgerrin James. Adai was just a power back. Brandon Stokely made money from what he did with Peyton Manning. You flip him over.
PR?
Who?
PR Garcon. He's still playing football.
I'm
not saying he's a perennial Pro Bowler, but I'm just saying he's going to
Look at when he came into Peyton Manning's life. He came into Peyton Manning's life with Peyton Manning. Look, he was only with him for like 2 years. That's just what it is. He goes to the Broncos. Wes Welker leaves Tom Brady and go put up similar numbers with Peyton Manning. Why? Because it's a similar system. All right? That's why I say no to Peyton Manning. Tom Brady. Look, the system has always been built around him. Now, you can say all you want that he didn't start out with the best players. I give you that. He didn't start out. Troy Brown wasn't the best of the best. David Patton wasn't the best of the best. Deion Branch wasn't the best of the best. And it showed. Look, when they left,
David Gibbons,
when they left and went to another team. I remember Deion Branch left and went to the Seahawks. They couldn't do nothing. They came back and was like, we won the Super Bowl again. But that defense was phenomenal over and over again. You talk about Ty Law, Willie McGinnis, Teddy Bruschi, Vrabel, Richard Seymour, Vince Wilfork. The list goes on and on and on. But the Patriots also wasn't dumb either. They started giving him weapons on top of weapons. When you talk about you give him Gronkowski and Hernandez, you give him Corey Dillon just to beat up on people. You go get a Randy Moss. You go get Wes Welker. Element, the time, so he started getting weapons. So I give you the first 4 years. Okay, I give you the first 4 years that he didn't have the weapons. But also remember too, he wasn't the starter until Drew got hurt. So I give you the first 4 years. But after that, they put skilled people in front of him all over the place. Had he not gotten hurt in one season, it'd be nobody would have cried about that.
Right.
Drew Brees is the best to me. He's the best of the bunch in his situation. Now, if you talk about as far as arm talent, Aaron Rodgers got that bar done. Nobody's touching it. But as far as making the best out of your situation, people forget when he was in San Diego, it was the LT show. It was LT left,
at the same time.
LT right, LT up the middle. They also a couple of years later went and got Darius Rose. They was a straight real deal running team. Right. I mean, when you got a defensive end playing wide receiver in David Boston,
240,
and you know what I'm saying, and people forget Drew Brees made gates. Drew Brees showed people that LT was more than just a running back. He showed the skill possession that Sproles had, but Thomason was always hurt. Gate was always hurt. He made the best of his situation. He came to New Orleans. They drafted Reggie Bush. He had Deuce. That was it. You had an agent Joe Horn that couldn't beat one-on-one no more. You had to scheme him open. You get Devery Henderson, block burn out the gate, and then the last pick in the second to last pick in the draft, and Marcus Coulson, who nobody thought nothing of, and look at what happens. He makes his players better. Name me a quarterback that loses his in the history of the NFL that loses his top touchdown catcher, his top yards catcher, year in, year out, his top producer, and still puts up 5,000 yards. That's unheard of. You lose Marcus Coulson to retirement, you come back, you throw 5,000 yards with somebody else. You lose Jimmy Graham, who was your number one receiver and touchdown producer. You lose him, you come back, you still throw 5,000 yards. You get rid of Kenny Stills, who was your best downfield guy at the time.
And who was emerging.
You let him go.
You trade him.
Guess what?
You get nothing back.
He comes back and he misses 2 games and he still puts up 4,800 yards. You get rid of Brandon Cooks. Guess what? He still throws close to 5,000. You get rid of his most reliable playmaker on third down, and Willie Snead. Guess what? He's still throwing. So it doesn't matter what combination you put out. Look, he made Ben Watson come from the dead.
Yeah. Coming off a torn Achilles.
You know, people didn't know much about. People remember Ben Watson really from Georgia. They didn't remember him with the league because he was a journeyman.
I think he had a good 2 years with the Patriots. He had a good 2 years.
I give you that. That was especially after because of when Gronk got hurt. And then,
he had a good 2 years with the Patriots.
But you know what I'm saying? Every year he lost somebody. He lost Darren Sproles. Come back like ain't nothing happened.
And a lot of people was mad when we let Darren Sproles walk. A lot of people was mad.
The numbers was still there. Look, you let Jimmy Graham go. People was pissed about that. Look, you lost Jeremy Shockey. People was mad about that shit. The numbers are still. I mean, what else do you want?
We let Meacham walk to the Chargers. And, he thought he was the number one receiver, and one day and got lost in the sauce.
And look,
and then he tried to come back,
and the numbers were still there. That's the killer thing. Like every year he's lost his top playmaker. Every year his offensive line has changed. Guess what? It's still there. Look, they went balanced last year. This was the most balanced that they've been since the Super Bowl winning year, and he still put up numbers. It's not a system with this guy. He's going to get the ball to whoever's open. He's going to put the ball to where the receivers can make run after the catch. He protects his receivers, and he spreads the wealth. That's why people love playing with him. Look, Tay again. He didn't put on the show his whole career. He was known as mainly returning. Started showing he could catch a little bit. He comes to say he damn near make him that Pro Bowl at 30-something years old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I think a key note too about Drew Brees. Drew Brees made the Pro Bowl before he came to the Saints.
Yes.
He's a Pro Bowler with the Chargers.
Yes.
The Chargers had a tough decision when they was getting ready to draft Phillip Rivers.
They was first overall.
They was a divided war room.
They drafted Eli. But they
were going for a quarterback. It was a divided war room when they did that. But I think if you didn't see Drew Brees get hurt in that last regular season game, I don't even know if they make that draft pick.
Right.
So that's a point. That's a good point that you make with all the different receivers Drew Brees went through. I say this all the time. You give Drew Brees a solid offensive line, and you give him time, and you give him a top 15 defense, we're going to be in the mix to win a Super Bowl every damn year. Stay woke.
I'm gonna be real with you. You give Drew Brees what Kansas City got right now, a block burner at wide receiver, a block burner at running back, a playmaker at Sammy Watkins, Chris Conley, and Kelsey. You give him that.
Anthony Thomas.
You give him that.
Kareem Hunt.
Draw the record books away. You give him Aaron Rodgers receiving car. Throw the record book away. You give him what the Patriots had last year. Throw the record book away. It's not even close what he'll do. But guess what? He won't complain. He won't fuss. He keeps everything in house. He does it the right way. He goes out and produces. Because he's the constant professional. Look, my job is to play football. Mm-hmm. Your job is to give me whoever you got. That's what you gave me. Guess what? He about to do. I don't care if he can run a 5-yard out. He about to run a 5-yard out. We're going to put it to him right on his chest and let him do what he do. Right. That's it. You won't hear a peep from him. And people forget when he came here in 06 that – no, it was Jack Street talked about it on the air, but nobody knew it. He couldn't throw the ball. He couldn't throw no more than 25 times when he first got here.
Right.
A day in the preseason, and he couldn't throw the ball past 20 yards.
Right.
Now look at him.
Now, Chris Bell says this. Here's a stat I think is what makes Drew Brees great. He is a great postseason passing rating. He has a better postseason pass rating than Favre, Brady, Rodgers, Peyton Manning, Eli, and Big Ben. His postseason losses were 100% defenses. Frank.
That's a great point.
Right. Frank Bridges is exactly coach, system quarterback. Aaron Smith says Saints won the Super Bowl. Mike Robichaud said, do you think Dak Prescott will have a good career?
Now with Jason Garrett as the head coach.
That's kind of the nip that butt in.
and just to kind of like add on to what we saying about Drew Brees. Drew Brees' career record in the playoffs, he's 7-6. Yeah, he's 1-5 on the road. But check this out. Drew Brees has 29 touchdowns to 9 interceptions in the playoffs, has over 4,000 yards, and has a 65% completion rate. That don't sound like this is his fault that he's 1-5 on the road. If you want me to put out his road stats, I can do that too. All I'm saying is you got to take into account that Drew Brees has not had the defenses that Peyton Manning and Tom Brady has had in years past. And that's just what it is. Even in the regular season. And then for about a 3-year stretch, when we was missing the playoffs, Drew Brees was running for his life.
Yeah.
We didn't have an offensive line for about 3 years. When we got Pete and got Ramshack and Unger,
it took some time.
And Unger,
it took some time.
That's when you started seeing our offensive line start coming back to fold, like when we had a Carl Nix and when we had Bushride and Jonathan Goodwin and them guys. And when Street was healthy, when his back wasn't bad.
Bad back.
Bad back Street.
Nah. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I'm gonna just be devil's advocate.
Go ahead. Do you think?
Now, if I'm a fan, because I watch statistics and I watch stats. At some point in time, the stats are what they are. Doesn't explain the whole picture, but it explains a whole lot. Peyton Manning is a 4-time league MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not undermine that. If there's a fan out there who would look at stats and say, okay, if you're looking at stats and stats alone, you would think Emmitt Smith was the best running back in the history of the game. He has the most touchdowns for his position. He has the most yards per his position. He has the most yards per carry for his position. Mm-hmm. So if you just started watching football since 1980, you would think that Emmitt Smith is the best running back in the history of the game. The fact that you didn't even watch Walter Payton or Barry Sanders. Someone would say that statistically about Drew Brees. Statistically. Meaning that he has the most completion percentage. He has the most touchdown. He has the most yardage now. He's going to probably end up with the most passing touchdowns at some point in time. All these things without a regular season MVP in only one Super Bowl. They would say that he is an Emmitt Smith of the position. Knowing that Barry Sanders is actually better. Knowing that Barry Sanders played 10 seasons. Mm-hmm. Barry Sanders was better because he had less talent and did a whole lot more. People would consider probably Peyton Manning the Barry Sanders of the position. Great guy, but he was overall the best. What Drew Brees has done as a Saint has been remarkable. But he doesn't have a league MVP for every statistical great season he's had at that position. He's thrown for 5,000 yards 5 times. Not one year the league has nominated him to be the best player in the league. Peyton Manning was nominated 4 times to be the league MVP. That says a lot about a guy. Peyton Manning is also the same guy who's played in 4 Super Bowls. Mm-hmm. And he was the most important ingredient for those teams in the Super Bowl.
No.
The year he got there.
The most important.
3 out of the 4.
1 out of the 4.
No, Peyton Manning was 3 out of the 4. The last year, when he got there with Denver, he won the most important piece.
They could have had Oswald in there.
They could have had Oswald in there.
Oswald could have won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, right. But the last 3 out of 4, his first 3 to the 2 in Indy, the 2 in Indy, he was there, and the first one in Denver because he broke every statistical record that first year in Denver. He threw for the most touchdowns in the season. He threw for the most yards in the season. That offense is rated statistically the number 1 offense in NFL history because it has the most yardage and the most touchdowns of that year. That was him. He came out with 7 touchdowns and starting week 1 against Denver. Against Baltimore. Blew him out. So somebody would say that Drew Brees, because of him not being in the system with Sean Payton, who he's been the most consistent one. He's been in the same offense for the past 13 seasons. It's not Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning had 5 head coaches. He hasn't been in the same offensive system for the past, throughout his duration of his career. He's had Tony Dungy as a head coach. Mm-hmm. He's had Jim Caldwell as a head coach. He's had John Fox as a head coach. He's had Gary Kubiak as a head coach.
Did he have Caldwell?
He had Jim Caldwell. He had Jim Caldwell in the Saints Super Bowl.
But that's okay.
Saints Super Bowl. He had Jim Caldwell. He has 5 head coaches. He had Jim Moore for crying out loud. He had 5 different head coaches. Mm-hmm. Sean Payton, Drew Brees has only had 2. He had 1 in San Diego, I can't even recall. But since then, he's been having Sean Payton in the same system. North Turner. In the same system, the same offensive coordinator.
He had 3. North Turner, Marty Morningway,
then Sean Payton. So he's been in the same system, averaging the most career attempts out of any quarterback in history. He's been averaging 650 passing attempts since he's been in New Orleans Saints. No one in the history of the game. So someone who's watching the numbers would call him the Emmitt Smith of the position. Statistically. Not to say that he's not better. To me, Drew Brees has overachieved. 2nd round pick is not the number 1 overall.
What are you asking?
What I'm saying is, at the end of the day, someone would say that Peyton Manning is better.
Well, that's one of
If you want to, listen, I'm gonna just call a spade a spade. If you looking for the prototypical player at the position, yeah, you're going to choose Peyton Manning. He's 6'5", he got a big-ass head, he probably wears a size 9 and fitted caps.
Former overall pick.
He's from New Orleans, okay? He's the son of Archie Manning, okay? He can throw the ball probably 80 yards flat-footed, okay? He's played on some phenomenal teams with some Hall of Fame type receivers.
Probably the smartest quarterback to play the position.
He does all this stuff pre-snap read that got everybody's mind going crazy. Omaha. Yeah, don't get caught up with all of that. And I'm not trying to disrespect Peyton Manning. He was a great quarterback.
4-time MVP?
Man, look.
He was a great quarterback.
How many MVPs Drew Brees supposed to have? I'm done with the MVP talk because to me, MVP is not what the MVP is. The MVP is a popularity thing. Guess what? You hardly name. I just want somebody to go look at all the lists of MVPs, whether it's NBA, MLB, whatever sports you talk about, and tell me how many of them come from small towns. Well, or small markets. I don't mean small towns, small markets.
Indy's a small market.
Yeah.
He made Indy. It ain't Andrew Luck.
I give you that. He made Indy. Outside of him, the last small market guy I know that won it was Cam.
Yeah.
You talking about if we talking about the last 20 years, only 2 small markets got an MVP? That's saying something. Look, bro, it is what it is. You drove 5. You break Peyton Manning record the first time, you supposed to win it. Y'all said on the show time and time again, your record tends to go with the MVP too.
Yeah.
A lot of those times he was putting up big numbers. What was 7 and 9? You know what I'm saying? 6 and
the year
10.
He should have won it with the 2011 season, but Aaron Rodgers went 15 and 1.
And
he lost the head matchup.
You know what I'm
but he broke every record that year.
See, so you know what I'm saying. So if you follow that, Drew Brees at least supposed to have 2.
Right? But like I said, you know how the MVP goes.
Yeah.
If your team is not one of the better teams in the NFL, you're going to probably finish 3rd or 4th in the voting.
That's what it is.
This is a key stat. Peyton Manning is 12 and 13 in the playoffs. That's including 9 one-and-done postseason losses. That means, and I remember this vividly. Well, Peyton Manning had the number 1 seed in the playoffs.
Yep.
Home field advantage throughout the playoffs, and they lost in the first round.
Couldn't get out.
Then he has 9 one-and-done postseasons. He's 12 and 13 in the playoffs. He has the most playoff losses in NFL history.
But
I mean, what are we talking about here? Brady is 22 and 8 in the playoffs. He has the most wins in playoff history.
Right. Has the most touchdowns in playoff history too.
Drew Brees has a winning record in the playoffs.
But he played less games in the playoffs.
That's not. Is that his
fault? Look. You play the hand you don't. Look. You telling me the reason why Drew Brees didn't get to the playoffs is because of him? Hell no. Let's be realistic about this. We know what's going on here. Like I just said, when you're talking about a prototypical quarterback, you're talking about somebody like Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. They 6'5". They got a rocket for an arm. They can throw 80 yards flat-footed. They do all the commercials and stuff like that. But when you just won't put the game on and you won't watch when the game on the line, preferably in the playoffs.
Right.
Well, Drew Brees, when he went head-to-head against Peyton Manning, was 32 for 37 for 300-something yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and 1 against Peyton Manning, and that was a hell of a team they went against.
Yes.
But nobody wants to talk about that. And what happened to Peyton Manning when the game was on the line in the clutch? Tracy Porter, boop, leak. I'm going to holler at you. Touchdown. Ball game. Cancel Christmas. Man, stay woke.
Look.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I'm just saying. Listen,
this the thing about it.
People give Peyton Manning, they put him too high on a pedestal. Come on now. Now we want to talk about regular season. Ain't nobody in the history of the game better than Peyton Manning in the regular season. But in the postseason, he's an above average quarterback, and that's just what it is.
The fact of the matter is, it's one of those generational things. It's one of those generations. People now will say, like, if our sons was to start in about a couple of years, they'll start understanding football stuff. So for them, Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers will probably be the best quarterback ever.
Right.
they'll ever see. Because 9 times out of 10, they won't see the greatness of Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see Peyton Manning, so all you seen and heard was Drew Brees. So you say, all right, that got to be one.
Right.
And then Aaron Rodgers, and then so on and so on. It's a generational thing. Because I got some people that'll tell you, look, I don't care what you say, Dan Marino had the prettiest ball coming out. He did all this, that, you know what I'm saying?
It was his record that everybody had to break.
His team wasn't well destructive, and it was at a time in the league where they just ran the ball all the time. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of people that tell me, hey, look, y'all talk about Emmett, y'all talk about Barrett and all that stuff, but look, Jim Brown did all that stuff in a 10-game season. Nobody wants to talk about that.
Right.
And he had to share backfield with another phenomenal running back. Nobody wanted to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? And then especially at the time where
that guy didn't last that long.
Where it wasn't racially appealing to have the best placing on your team look like us.
Right.
If you catch what I'm trying to say. So, it's one of those generation things. Me, just the way I look at football, I'm telling you, those two guys are system guys. I watched Drew Brees drive everywhere he go, from Purdue to San Diego to the Saints, and that's just what it is. Look, the numbers speak for itself.
But here's the thing, though. They're still playing devil's advocate here. Somebody would say Drew Brees is a system quarterback.
You can't.
How? He made a Pro Bowl before he got to the Saints.
So if you say he's a system quarterback, you don't understand what systems are.
Okay.
That's what it is. If you say he's a system quarterback, you don't understand what system.
Sean Payton, Drew Brees,
that's
12 seasons. Same system.
That's not no. That's not what it is. See that I'm glad you said it like that, because that's the common conception of
system
of a system.
Of a system.
The system is not just the head coach and the quarterback or the head coach and the person. The system is how the team is built. That's the system. The system is how the team is built. If I give you if I give you 4 wide receivers that's 6'4" or 6'5" that can all run 4-3 flats.
Right.
What you about to do? Fly,
bomb over
post,
Baghdad.
You know what I'm saying? Everything deep. But if I give you one 6'4" receiver and everybody else is 5'10" or shorter, but they little shifty things, what you do? You're gonna take your deep guy. It's not a 6'4" guy. Everything else is gonna be crossing routes and all that stuff. How your team is constructed dictates your system.
Well, the Saints will always have a speedy running back out of the backfield.
Not always.
Since Sean Payton has been here.
Not always.
He's had a Reggie Bush from Darren Sproles to Alvin Kamara. He's always had a back out of that backfield that kind of does
in between Reggie Bush and Alvin Kamara. There wasn't no speedy back.
What? Soon after Darren Sproles, Alvin Kamara came. It wasn't that far long.
Reggie Bush wasn't. I mean,
no. Reggie Bush gone. They got Darren Sproles.
No, he did. No, it was like I think he had a year or two without Sproles.
And even after Sproles, we didn't get Kamara as soon as Sproles left.
We got Kamara last year. Sproles been in Philly for 3 years.
Yeah, 1 season. 2. I think it was 2. I want to say it was 2. Listen, he made a Pro Bowl before he came to New Orleans. Explain that.
Okay, that's not a system.
Explain that. Drew Brees. Okay, Tom Brady. Now not Tom Brady. Peyton Manning has made the Pro Bowl in Indy and where? Denver. And he's had some great weapons in both places. Okay.
He had Pro Bowlers, multiple at both
Reggie
spots.
Wayne, Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. Marvin Harrison, Hall of Famer. He had Dallas Clark, who was a multiple Pro Bowler. He had Joseph Adai. They all had to be drafted there.
And on defense, he had Mathis and Freeney coming off the edge. And he had Bob Sanders, who was the defensive player of the year. And he had Andre Bethea.
That's not the fact that he drafted them guys.
I'm just saying.
He's had to play the game.
He had better pieces surrounding him. Then when he went to Denver, he had Von Miller, DeMarcus Webb, Chris Harris Jr., Talib,
Malik Jackson,
Danny
Trevathan, Brandon Marshall.
So you trying to say that when he went to Denver that they didn't get nowhere before he got there? They had a great team.
That's the only piece they was missing.
Okay.
They was just missing a quarterback.
They was just missing a quarterback.
But look,
it's the same thing when Brett Favre left Green Bay and he went to Minnesota.
When he went to New York, Jets first, then he went to Minnesota. Everybody knew they had Tavares Jackson as their quarterback. Right. Everybody knew, and if you know football.
Now he was a man. He was a man in college. I'll tell you
he was a man in college, but it didn't translate to the NFL. Though.
I'm telling you.
But when Brett Favre was in New York, everybody knew that Minnesota was a quarterback away from getting to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Everybody knew that.
They had the defense.
And when they got Brett Favre, man,
NFC Championship.
The Vikings
looked
unstoppable.
NFC Championship.
They looked unstoppable. Sidney Rice looked like Randy Moss.
That guy.
I'm just saying. So you can't tell me that Drew Brees is a system quarterback, especially when Big Hen told you all the different receivers and offensive linemen that we went through, and how he's been to a Pro Bowl before he got to New Orleans.
Okay, now
if he was shitty.com before he got to New Orleans, then I could agree with you. Go look at his stats when he was in San Diego. Go look at him.
If he signed with Miami prior to New Orleans,
Miami had the pieces. And who was the coach? Saban was the coach. Right. That would have been bad. It would have been a bad situation. It would have been a bad situation.
So my question is,
but the thing is,
Peyton Manning had different coaches.
Man,
they all wasn't great. Jim Carter wasn't great.
All right. Let me put it to you this way. I told you what the system is. Tom Brady had different coordinators. All his coordinators went on to be head coaches somewhere.
Yeah.
And one that came
Charlie
back.
Weiss, from Brian, Bill O'Brien to Josh McDaniels.
He came back. Aaron Mangini on defense. Romeo Crennel. You know what I'm saying? Okay, look, that's all fine and damn dandy. That's cool. But how's the team constructed? I'm telling you, that is everything. All right. Prime example. Who got the best arm in the league right now?
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, okay. If I give you Aaron Rodgers, if I give you Aaron Rodgers with none of them receivers he got right there, I put the Dallas Cowboy offensive line with David Johnson at the running back, and think of the worst receiver on every team. And that's his receiver coach. What the hell you think Aaron Rodgers is about to do? What do you think the coach is about to do?
Well, Aaron Rodgers gonna be successful. He gonna make you guys
not. No, see that's the problem.
No,
see that's the
bad man, boy. He gonna make you successful.
That's what I'm not talking about you, but see that's what Dick Sucker get you in the world. That's what Dick Sucker get you because you just see you see him for what he did right there. But I just gave you a blueprint situation. Not he don't have. Look, I'm telling you he don't have Jordan Nelson. I'm telling you he don't have Rodgers at tight end. I'm telling you he don't have Julius Thomas. I'm telling you he don't have Graham. Hold on. I'm telling you he don't have none of them people. He don't have none of them people. Ever since Aaron Rodgers came in the league, he's either had Donald Driver or Jordan Nelson. He always had 3 receivers. He's always had 3 receivers. And guess what? He's had the same coach who's always called the same play. Nobody talks about him in that. He's always had a running back that could do some type of thing, catching and running out the backfield. And he's always had a tight end that give you a matchup problem because you worried about Jordan Nelson, Donald Driver, whoever else come along. So don't give me that mess. But I'm just telling you that he never had them receivers. You got the offensive line of the Cowboys was the best in the league. You got David Johnson, who's a running back who will catch out the backfield, but he got the worst wide receivers from every team. And you telling me he's gonna put up 5,000-yard passer? I'm telling you, smoking shit. Yeah. I'm telling you, smoking big shit. I'm talking about you going to the Marrero Projects, opening the dome, scraping the shit out the bottom of that, and you smoking.
Yeah, here's my question: do you know if Drew Brees can throw 5,000 yards without being attached to Sean Payton?
Man,
look at what he did. You realize he threw close to 4,000 yards when LaDainian Thomas almost rushed for 2,000. But you don't want to talk about that. Look, I'm telling you, I gave a guy the ball 410 times, whether it was running or passing.
Now, Cliff Lofton said Aaron Rodgers overrated, full of excuses, quarterbacks. I don't know about him being overrated. That's a bad man.
I'm just telling you. Prime example, look, Mr. Alex Smith. Mr. Alex Smith, probably his best passing was probably 2,000-something yards when he was under Harbaugh, right? All right. Name me the receivers for him then. All his best receiver was the damn tight end, Vernon Davis.
Well, he had Crabtree. I don't know what you want to call that.
That's cool. He leaves and he goes to the Chiefs with Andy Reid. All of a sudden, the man drove for 4,000 yards. Why? The team is. I just gave you the perfect example. The San Francisco was built to run the damn ball. I don't care what receivers you gave him. They was built to run the damn ball. And they passing game came off of play action. When he got to the Chiefs, they didn't have Jamal Charles was ACL gone. You never knew if he was gonna be there or not. You never knew who your wide receivers, who your running back was gonna be. But guess what? You knew Andy Reid was always gonna dial up pass plays. And guess what? He goes from 2,000 being his most to like 4,200. Everybody talk about, man, especially when San Francisco started struggling, like they're like, man, did San Francisco get duped on this deal? They should have gave him Kaepernick and all that stuff. And look what happened. The situation changed. Now he's back with 40. He with the Redskins. Guess what? They built to run the ball. They want to run the ball, and they take play action shots. His number's gonna take a hit again. So I'm telling you, the system is not the head coach coordinated and all that stuff. That's called a scheme. That's the common misconception. Right. That's a scheme. What Sean Payton got is a scheme. What Bill Belichick got is a scheme. What all these other coaches and coordinators got, that's called a scheme. But the system is how it's constructed. Prime example, the most yards that Tom Brady ever drew for a season came with what? He had Randy Moss. He had a 6'4" deep draft, plus he had all these underneath suckers, and he had the big tight ends. All right. Outside of that, he didn't get a sniff close to it. 4,500 max. Why? Because he's doing all this stuff, having all these little crossing routes. That's why it don't matter what receiver you give him. If they can run crossing routes, if they short, if they match up nightmares. Look, big cornerbacks can't grab them because they too shifty. Linebackers can't run with them. You could only hope to get the big hit on them afterwards. That's a system. That's a system. And out of how many years Tom Brady been playing? Like, has he been a starter?
2001.
So for 17 years, only one season, his team wasn't built the way it's been like now. That's a system.
So what you're saying is that, going back to Peyton Manning, Drew Brees. Peyton Manning is a system, and Drew Brees is a scheme.
Yes.
So you're saying Drew Brees doesn't have a system.
It doesn't have. His team changes every year. Look, Joe, from when he first got here, Joe Horn, Meach wasn't here. Joe Horn, Henderson,
Marcus Colston,
and
Reggie Bush. And they traded for
and Eddie fucking Boo Williams at the damn tight end.
Well, they traded for Jeremy Shockey that same year.
No, not that year. They traded for him in 09. The year they won us. They didn't trade for him in 06. They traded for him after the Giants won the Super Bowl. Trust me, because he was hurt. He was hurt in 08 when they won the Super Bowl. He got traded right before the draft. And
he got traded in 09.
Yeah, I remember. Because that's when he got the damn the American eagle tattooed on him. Oh yeah, he had Eddie fucking Boo Williams. That was his team. And guess what? He put up phenomenal number there. Every year, his team, I told you, every year he lost his top receiver, his top touchdown catcher, and he still put up the numbers. Think about it. It's a reason why when Drew Brees plays, he says, man, Drew Brees has 15 completions, 9 different receivers caught the ball, and he had 300-something yards. It's a reason why, because that is so special. I can see if you had 100, I can see if you drew the ball 10 times, you got 200-something yard passing, and you look on the side and you say Tyreek Hill got 150-yard receiving. Well, shit, that means you told me if he caught the ball 4 times for 150 yards, that means you only gave 50 yards and three touches to all these other people that's on the field.
Right.
That's saying something.
So what you're stating is
a lot of big facts being spoke right now.
So here's big facts. So here's my question. Because of the way that Drew Brees dispersed the football. Now, my only big question is this: could he have done that without that scheme? I don't know if he could have done that. When I'm looking at Peyton Manning,
you'll never know.
4-time MVP.
Why you keep saying that? I just told you this man made the Pro Bowl in San Diego. Go look at his stats when he was in San Diego.
And you can't blame the man for the situation.
So how could you say that if he did it somewhere else?
He did it. He only did his own 3 years in San Diego.
All right. Let me ask you this.
And when he got his shot, he played damn good.
Let me ask you this. Does Emmitt Smith get all those yards if he's on another team, not Dallas Cowboys?
We don't know.
That's the question with Drew Brees. You never know. So stop playing the what ifs and deal with what is here.
That's why I say.
What is here?
At some point, you got to go off the eye test.
You know what I'm saying? You got to deal with what is here.
So you trying to say Peyton Manning don't eyeball you?
No. I'm telling you what it is. If you understand
the most prototypical quarterback that you want out there.
If you understand football, you realize, look, it's a reason why you go, Wells Walker leaves, Tom Brady could have went, everybody was offering way more money, could have went anywhere in the world. He's like, you know what, I'm going with Peyton. There's a reason why. I fit his system. You can't say it's the scheme because he left a whole nother team. I left the whole team. I understand it. Look, they going to build that offense around Peyton. They going to do what Peyton's good at, and that's this. He a dink and dunk, and when you give him the coverage he wants, he's gonna take the deep ball. Other than that, he gonna dink and dunk. Why you think Julius? Look, think about it. Julius Thomas went from I didn't know who the hell he was to oh my God, everybody was going crazy trying to get him, and then soon as Peyton leaves and he leave Peyton, you don't hear from Julius Thomas again. It's a reason why. Because Peyton Manning, since from college to the pros, he's always had a good relationship with what position? The damn tight end and the slot receiver. They always gonna get the ball, no matter who you throw out there. In the Peyton Manning when Peyton Manning's on the field, the tight end and the slot receiver always gonna get the ball. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. Just like Tom Brady. Whoever the two slot receivers is, gonna always get the ball. He's been blessed with good tight end play, so now the tight end is gonna get the ball. That's why, think about it. It's a reason why when Gronk don't play, the Patriots look like shit. It's a reason why when Gronk play and the others and Element don't play, they still look great. It's a reason why.
Big facts. One day, it's going to all sink in. It's going to all start sinking in.
I'm just talking statistics.
You being very disrespectful.
No, I'm talking statistics. Statistics say
disrespectful.
Drew Brees, Peyton Manning is one of the better all time.
And I'm just telling you what football says. What football says. Because at the end of the day, guess what? The statistics going to say what it is, but it's also going to say he's number 2 all time. So
yeah.
You got the king right here. Get the king hit and see. You know what you doing? You doing what national media always do.
I'm playing devil's advocate.
I'm just saying, but you doing what national media always do to him. You don't give him the credit that he deserves. You always got
because he's 5'10".
Because you gonna sit on that teeter-totter and you gonna tilt it your way. You gonna tilt it your way.
If somebody wants to look at statistics, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I'm gonna look at statistics and say.
Well, I got a question from the fans. And I really want to see what G gonna say about it. Frank Bridges says, speaking on defense, what do y'all think about Deion Sanders saying the Saints should trade for Patrick Peterson?
We just don't have enough to give him. We already given up a first round pick this year for getting Marcus Davenport for moving up in the draft.
You traded a third round pick to get Teddy Bridgewater.
Third round pick for Teddy Bridgewater.
It sounds good, but you don't have the resources.
Yeah, we just don't have it. And then to think about it, you got to think about paying Patrick Peterson that contract. We got some people that are going to be coming up for contracts.
Mike Thomas.
Mark Ingram this year.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Mike Thomas.
So, look, I would love to have Patrick Peterson. Don't get me wrong. I would love to have him on the opposite side of Marshawn Lattimore. But the fact of the matter is, it doesn't make sense business-wise and for us going forward. So with that being said, no, I don't think we should go after Patrick Peterson unless they're going to throw him for chump change like a 5th or 6th round pick. Now, if they won't do that, he can come on here. But I doubt they not going to let him come for no damn 5th, 6th round pick. They going to want at least a 3rd.
It depends on how they trying to blow it up.
They already trying to trade David Johnson.
I was gonna say it depends on if they trying to blow it. If they trying to blow up and say, you know what, we got to start from scratch.
Well, I think they is.
You get them for cheap.
Listen, the Cardinals are filling offers. Let's just get something straight. They're gonna be trading. I think the Deion Buchanan. I think one of the other guys who's gonna be on that defense is gonna be getting traded sometime soon and shopping. Listen, they're trying to shop players. They're restarting this thing over from scratch. You drafted a quarterback. I think David Johnson may be there for a couple more years, so to speak. But they're gonna be blowing this whole thing up in Phoenix. So they're trying to get as much assets in return. The Saints just don't have the assets to get them. And if so, you're only renting him. Now, granted, if you're renting him to try to play him this year and not re-sign him, by all means. But it's a rental for a guy who trades for Patrick Peterson this year.
And
it's a rental.
And look,
I'm cool with that if you're renting for 1 year.
If So look, this is how I look at it. A lot of people might say I'm dumb, but this is how I look at it. If it's the Bob Barker, if y'all understand what that means, if the price is right, you know, I take him because we got a 5th round pick. It's all right. So Patrick Peterson is better than I don't give a damn. Whoever you find in the 5th round in the next year draft, Patrick Peterson is way better than that person. If that's what it takes to get you over the hump, especially in situations like Monday night, Marcus Lattimore go down. So if teams all remember like, oh yeah, Crawley and P.J. Williams is about to be up there. Well, now when I tell you that Marcus Lattimore go down, Patrick Peterson is sliding over to number 1, and you still where you started the game at.
Well, yeah. Here's my thing about that. You know, if it's on a 1-year rental and you can try to make that Super Bowl push, listen. I know you got to look towards your future, but now,
what are you willing to give up?
What are you willing to give up?
That's what I'm saying.
What are you willing to give up?
If the price is right,
the Saints don't have a 1st, they don't have a 3rd. You got a 2nd, you got a 4th, 5th, and whatever case may be.
If I'm them, if the Cardinals really trying to blow it up like we all think they is, you need picks, and a 1-year draft ain't gonna fix it.
No.
Hey, look. What about next year for it?
Right.
What about next year?
Listen, you to rub them out. I'm on board and saying because I think the Saints have a lot of young pieces on this team, and I think they drafted very well. I think they did some things very well with their cap. Now that you hired Jeff Allen on his team for the past couple of years. Listen, I'm all for saying, listen, I'll give you a 4th this year, and I'm willing to give you the 3rd for the 2020 draft. You know. I'm going to rent Patrick Peterson. If they can make that happen, I would rather rent him for 1 season and put Lattimore on one side, Patrick Peterson on the other. Listen, I got Kirk Coleman out here. I got Marcus Williams playing better. And I got my defensive line over the past 2 games who are starting to get pressure. Guess what? I want to do whatever I can because the reality is if I don't see any significant injuries, you got to understand that the Los Angeles Rams are waiting for you at some point in time. And that team right now, offensively, is hitting on all cylinders. Jared Goff is looking like the 1st overall pick that they thought he can be under Sean McVay. You know, you got Robert Woods, Brandon Cooks, Cooper Kupp, and Ty Gurley is a bad man. So you got to be ready to, possibly see a team like that. And if the Cardinals are blowing that up, and again, listen, that's not a winning situation right now in Arizona. That team is rebuilding. You drafted a quarterback, Sam Bradford, and moved to 3rd string. You're paying him too much money. Here's the deal. I'm going to give you 4th this year. I'm going to give you the 3rd for the 2020 draft. Look. Give me Patrick Peterson. It's a done deal. You put him over here. And
I'll tell you another route that might be.
You can take P.J. Williams too.
I tell you another route that might need to be explored too. Look at some of the expiring contracts on your side. Hey, like I think Teo contract coming. Hey, look, we'll give you next year for the Teo. Look. He gonna come off your books this year. That's so you don't have to worry about Pat P. Contract. You ain't gotta worry about Teo contract. Look at some of the inspired things. Sweeten the pie a little bit for him.
PJ,
you know what I'm saying? But don't touch. You ain't getting none of this young talent that we got.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You draft your own young talent. Goddamn it.
Yeah. I give up Mark Ingram. I'd give him up. For Pat Pete.
What is in the bleach in the Tri-Parish today?
I would give him up for Pat Pete.
It's the 2nd week I didn't give you this look.
That's why I say that. Because I think you can go out. I ain't going to say necessarily replace Mark Ingram, but you could get somebody to fill that void. Versus get somebody to play opposite side of Marshawn Lattimore. And that's all I'm saying. So, and the Saints have showed it. Kyrie Robinson, Chris Ivory. We've shown that we can go get these
Mike Bell,
these diamond in the roughs, Mike Bell.
Mike Bell was already on the NFL roster.
I'm just saying, we go get these people that nobody really know about and give them and we plug them in and they come in and do their job. That's all I'm saying.
Look, hey producer, I need you to cut that clip. Right there, and that goes
Akeem
on.
Kimber.
Stop, G. See, Keem is a Mark Ingram lover.
Look,
undercover.
No, he's overcover. He's an overcover lover. All I'm saying is, if the GM for the Cardinals call Mickey Loomis and say, "Look, y'all won't give up none of your picks because you're already giving up your 1st and your 3rd. Give us Mark Ingram." Guess what I'm doing with Mickey Loomis? Call Mark Ingram agent. Coach, look. We about to talk to the agent, see if we can get this ironed out. Tell Pat Pete get on the first thing smoking.
Man, look here. Producer, I need you to cut that clip. When we do the Your Bad segment next week, that needs to be the first one up there. Man, look, now, you might have to cut this clip too. Now, if they saying, look, give us Mark Ingram, we'll throw you a second, and you get Pat P. Hey, you play for
Bob Barker, baby.
Hey, look, you play for a school that say roll tide, well, roll your ass up out of here. Give me Pat P.
Bob Barker, baby.
Hey, look, you get
Price is right.
Hey, and go get Boston Scott back. You won't do it like
you
that.
get Boston Scott, you get Gillespie, whatever you want to get.
No, fuck. Hey, Gillespie got to go, man.
He already gone.
Look, Fumble Rooski can't
come back.
Man, look. Put White, hey, all else fell. Put White Uptown back there, baby.
Put White Uptown back there, baby.
Shit.
Get Pat Pete.
Man, shit.
Kamara, White Uptown. Did you get a big bruiser back there?
Man, look.
But who's else available this trade market? I know who's else going to be available this trade market coming up?
I think you check the way to deal with that. I think you check the hot seat alert. Teams that's not happy with
Shady McCoy.
You know, the team that's not happy with what's going. Look, if I'm somebody, I'm looking on the Bengals rosters. I'm looking on the Bengals. Hey, what is it gonna take to get Burford? What is it gonna take to get such and such, such and such? I don't know, cause the way Andy Dalton got a smoke screen going for these folks and making it look like they got a chance when everybody knows they really don't. But I'm looking at I'm looking at some disappointments. I'm sitting there looking at some disappointments. I think if you got a number, I think, and I hate to say it because I don't want to give them no ideas because they who they is. But if you're the 25ers, okay, and I'm sitting there saying, look, I got Coleman and Freeman. I'm talking to Philly. I'm saying, hey, look, what's up with one of them pass rushers? What's up with one of them pass rushers? Look, y'all lost a Jahi. Y'all got, y'all gonna play this committed day. Look, you got a proven fact that fit y'all what y'all trying to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't want Bennett. Give me one of those rotational guys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Something like, I'm looking at Tennessee too, because the Titans are, man, I thought they were going.
He said he thought they were one of the better teams in the AFC.
That's that bleach. You know what I'm saying? That's that.
I don't know.
What I'm saying?
He thought because they beat the Eagles, that meant something.
Look at that. Corey Davis, he doesn't look nothing like. But see, that's one of those situations.
So week lead, man. That was last week.
Any given Sunday. Any given Sunday.
That's one of those.
You saw what Buffalo did, huh?
Yeah. That's one of those. What you call them? That's one of those situation things with Corey Davis. He doesn't look like what everybody thought he could be.
Is that him or is it because of the system?
It's the
scheme.
It's the system.
It's the system.
That's a perfect example. Tennessee is built to run the ball.
No, to run my ball.
But even they not doing that well. Derrick Henry looks horrible this year. That offensive line is still a nice offensive line. Don't get it twisted. That offensive line is nice, but I think they could be plucked from. I wouldn't touch nothing off the coach. The coach doesn't have nothing appealing.
No, but see, the coach got a lot of cap space. And for me, if I'm the coach, and you not to make the call to the Pittsburgh Steelers and say, man, look, they're probably the only team between them and the 49ers that really have the cap space to pay a Le'Veon.
Right. But the thing the problem is, I'm not making that move unless I know he's going to resign with me.
Yeah, but you got the cap space to do it. And at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, man, you got a guy in Andrew Luck, who's coming back off an injury. You talking about the guy in the first 3 years of his season was looking like a premier quarterback in his league. This guy has not had a Pro Bowl in that offense since he's been there. He's an aging receivers.
He had T.Y. Hilton. T.Y. Hilton was a Pro Bowl.
That's it. Outside of T.Y. Hilton, he has not had another. Trent Richardson trade was a disaster. Yeah. The offensive line has been atrocious. You got to get a guy in there to help protect your franchise QB to try to help you win some games. And what are you going to do with it? Why would you have $80 million in cap space when you're not trying to make the point of getting some guys that can play with this guy? Why would you continue every year to go out here and say, okay, I got T.Y. Hilton and a bunch of nobodies out here and Andrew Luck with no offensive line and say, I'm not going to get this guy no help.
Right.
That makes no sense to
me. I'll go after David Johnson because David Johnson at least already signed. Because my thing is, you go after Le'Veon Bell, if he doesn't agree to sign with you, you trade for him anyway just to please the fans.
And I think that's why the Eagles ain't even thinking about it.
Yeah.
That's why they going to Shady, because Shady under contract.
Yeah.
Right. So it got to be a good business decision.
It
got to be a good business decision.
It got to make sense, because just because I got the space, if this guy ain't going to resign, that means nothing. I'm going to still have the space when he walk away.
Well, I can understand that. My thing is that when you got that kind of space, you can make an offer that's more appealing market-wise than any other team. Now, granted, if he doesn't really resign, then obviously it's not about money. But the reason why he's saying he's not resigning with the Steelers is because of money. Yeah, and you're one of the teams that do. And you got a franchise guy in Andrew Luck that say, man, look, atrocious offensive line, no, outside of T.Y. Hilton, you can't name a receiver or a tight end that he has played with on his team. The GM has been abysmal. The front office, I don't even speak about Jim Irsay. You got to do something. Why not try to get a guy who this Andrew Luck has probably taken more sacks out of any quarterback in the past few years? Why not try to get one of the guys who can best pass protect in the running back position?
Well, see, that's where you start plucking.
And you know he's available, right? And you know he's not re-signing with the Steelers.
Well, see, that's the thing. But if he won't re-sign with you, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Go after somebody. Look, if I'm them, I'm looking at the Cardinals saying, hey, give me your best offensive lineman, give me David Johnson, and let's make this move. You know what I'm saying? If I, look around, you got scouts for a reason. I don't even know what else to go with if you the coach. Because the problem is, not only is your offense bad, your defense is just as bad. So, you got to be good on one side of the ball to entice somebody to stay there.
I can't even tell you who own their defense.
I know Malik Hooker and Jabal Shear. That's it.
I can't name another player.
That's it.
And I'm pretty good at naming players.
So my thing is, you got to look and feel, and you got to do something to bring the fire back in Indy. Because look, even when they came off, when Peyton Manning got hurt, the next year they drafted Andrew Luck, and they went to the playoffs that next year. Yeah. With Andrew Luck, that team was still bad.
It was bad the 3 years he went to the playoffs.
But that division was bad, just as bad.
So the division has gotten better. Jacksonville, the Titans are a pretty good defensive team. We know Houston got a pretty good defense. The division is better. And at least Houston got a quarterback. I can't speak about Mariota. But you got to get something to help Andrew Luck. So I'm just looking at who's tradable. Your coach, you're bad to me because at the end of the day, you got all this cap space and you can't seem to get anybody to play with Andrew Luck. I said that I can't really think about who could be traded.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to make it some type of way enticing for. Look, Le'Veon Bell want to get paid, but he ain't going into those situations where he about to get killed.
He gonna get paid.
I see your offensive line is horrible. You ain't got nobody besides T.Y. And I don't know how long that's gonna last because the only thing T.Y. got going for him is speed.
Le'Veon, give me $70 million guaranteed.
I guarantee he gonna say
something.
And look, you know what? And I guarantee you he gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna go to the Jets. At least they building something else, and they got money.
Well, speaking about that, what are some of the shifting gears? What are some of the biggest surprises this season and some of the biggest disappointments this NFL season? First quarter's up. We in going into week 6. Monday night, Thursday night football tonight. What are some of the biggest, surprises, biggest disappointments?
Well, since you said Thursday night football, I think that's the biggest disappointment. How atrocious the offense for the Giants has been. Because I understand like their offensive line's not that good. But don't give me that shit too. Because I've seen teams that had horrible offensive line still put up phenomenal numbers. Right. The greatest show on turf, the weakest part of the whole team was that offensive line. They was horrible. That's why the Saints played them so good, because our defensive line was just that much better than their offensive line, and we was getting them. But the problem was we couldn't cover nobody in the phone book. Right. You know what I'm saying? We made Akeem look like he was Tory Colton, Isaac Bruce, got there, and Ricky Pro all had a love child together, and they made him. Right. Yeah, that's how bad we was. That was, to me, that's the biggest disappointment. Right. You go get the perfect piece of the offense that you need. Saquon Barkley, he can run it hard, but he's also a mismatch nightmare. You put him with Sterling Shepard and Odell Beckham Jr. You got him paid, so that's not the distraction anymore. Then you got Everett Ingram. Come on now. And then you quote unquote go get an offensive guru.
Right.
And you can't put up points. Odell Beckham just got his first touchdown last year. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
I don't look. The Texans was horrible at the offensive line. David Carr got beaten to a concussion.
Yeah.
Every game, but he also understood all I got is Andre Johnson, and Andre Johnson got the ball. You got just as bad as the offensive line that Houston Texans had, but you got way more options, and you trying to tell me he doesn't get a touchdown to we 4-1 right now? So the fourth game of the season? That's bad.
He threw one first.
No, How he get a how he throw a touchdown before he catch a touchdown? That's crazy. That's crazy to me. I think that to me that's the biggest disappointment to me. Another disappointment of the numbers that David Johnson has. I really thought that this was going to be a bounce back year for David Johnson. They bad, but they were bad. Look, even the year that he had phenomenal numbers, they were bad because they lost Carson Palmer early in the season, and he's still, I just see this being upward trend, and then it showed in the contract offer that he accepted.
Right.
We thought he was gonna be another kid that break the bank just because of the value, and that's
what you got to think about too. Whenever you insert a rookie quarterback into the lineup, what you think defense is gonna do? David Johnson, you're not gonna beat us. Go ahead, Josh Rosen.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can beat us. So I think that's what you're saying, because the only time he really I think his only touchdowns is from receiving touchdowns,
right?
If I ain't mistaken. So I think that's playing a big factor.
You're not seeing him be a big rush. I think it was, for me, one of my biggest disappointment. Here's the truth: it's the Falcons. You 1-4. You got Julio Jones, who for the second consecutive year has not had a passing receiving touchdown within the first 5 weeks. I keep telling y'all, Steve Sarkisian still in the Hennessy. There's no way in the world you could have a weapon of that caliber and go 5 weeks and not have a receiving touchdown. And he leads the league in receiving, which is stupid, which is crazy. But he does not have a receiving touchdown. That is crazy absurd to me. Right. You got all these weapons. You done drafted Calvin Ridley, got Mohamed Sanu. I know Freeman had been out for a couple of games. I know you got some injuries on defense with Keanu Neal, Debo, and you had some other injuries on it. I get it. But for you to be 1-4, a two-team, you're 2 years removed from the Super Bowl. Don't forget. And you gave up a 25-point lead in the third quarter.
The 24 hours, baby.
Hey, never forget.
Never forget.
Never forget. But here's the deal. You're atrocious. I mean, you just Charles Barkley. You're terrible. I mean, this is no way that the Atlanta Falcons should be at this particular point in time in the season. With all these offensive weapons, you will figure since you paid Matt Ryan the $30 million a season, he should be able to get you at least one game, more than one game, with the talent offensively that he has. Can't get it done. Atlanta Falcons, you're disappointed.
I think Patrick Dorfman said it too. The biggest surprise this year to him is how bad the Raiders are. Hey, how that $10 million a year look? Nah, you get a man that ain't.
Gave him all that control.
Look, you know what, G? I call this the ultimate. You get what you goddamn deserve. You get a motherfucker that been. I don't even, because he hasn't been he hasn't been commentating since he left. Like, he took a break, then he started commentating. Look, you took somebody who's been out of football at least 12 years.
A decade.
At least 12 years. And then he started back with the Gruden camp stuff and all this stuff. But still, you took, quote unquote, and I kept telling y'all this. Y'all kept saying, oh, man. I'm not talking about the panel. I'm talking about like this, this media and everybody else.
Right.
Oh, he's a quarterback guru. And I kept saying, show me a quarterback that he was the guru of. Because he always had a veteran guy come in. Look, Rich Gannon was a veteran. He came, Brad Johnson. Other than that, show me a good quarterback year that his quarterbacks have had.
My bad. He had Chris Sims, who can't pick a quarterback.
Oh my God, man! Chris Sims smokes more bleach than you. That dude just as hard as his list. But you know what I'm saying. And the thing is, you give him ownership. You give him an ownership stake. You give him you give him all this money, and that team is laying eggs like. I don't know what. And then you still want to move to Vegas?
Revenue reasons.
You moving to Vegas and you about to bring Vegas a loser?
Revenue reasons.
Look, on top of that, the decline of to add on to that, the decline of Amari Cooper. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Man, that's just
that boy had a catch and boy had one target last week.
That's just as disappointing
So
as
is that more about Amari Cooper or is that more about the offense and who they targeting?
I don't know, because he started declining last year.
Yeah, he did.
He started declining last. Crabtree became the clear number one last year.
He did.
Crabtree came on your team. He became the clear cut.
I haven't really watched the Raiders play, so I can't sit there and say he's declining or not.
And see, that's to me, like, that's one of the things. Like, the stats may be misleading. You might be totally right, G. The stats may be misleading, but then you just. You look at
numbers started going down last year.
When Cooper first touched the league, you're like, oh, wow. Then his next year, like, all right, yeah. Then it's like, what happened?
What happened to Amari Cooper?
You did the Raiders made the perfect move. Like, all right, we got this young up and coming receiver. Instead of having the teams roll to him, we about to get another dependable receiver. They had a decent tight end.
Right.
So I'm like, hey. And you
Cook, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
And you have your offensive line is nice. To me, they got like the third best offensive line in the league.
You think their offensive line better than the Saints? I don't know.
If the Saints are completely healthy, the Saints got them. No, I don't know.
Is anybody on the offensive line better than Teron Armstead?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
But now Pro Football Focus got Teron Armstead as I think the sixth best offensive lineman in the league.
That's cool. To me,
in your humble opinion,
because Gabe Jackson is a monster, Rodney Hudson is a monster.
Gabe Jackson a guard, though.
Yeah, and then see that's saying that, and that's the thing. I think
Gabe Jackson can play ball.
Comite is but. That's another day too.
I thought Clemente was with the Texans.
Not Clemente. It's Kias. It's a long K name. Clemente is the fallback. Right. But they middle is on pace with the Cowboys middle. Donald Penn is a bruising force at tackle,
right? And
he doesn't get the rushes that people they'll put the power rush on him. They won't even try to beat him because he's so technical sound. But all across the board, I think the Saints are better when they fully healthy because Ramczyk and Armstead, and then you go in the middle with Warford, Max Unger, who's I think is severely underrated, and Andrus Pete. But when they get banged up, it's the Raiders got them. But they did everything you're supposed to do. You go get somebody else to get and you had got Marshawn Lynch to give you a running game too.
Right.
And you still his decline, man. I don't know, man.
I think it's a matter of the team that is rebelling toward John Gruden. But we need to shift gears.
Whew. Well, since we talk about how bad everybody's been, for disappointments, talking about why don't we go ahead and go into the segment of the week, baby.
Producer, roll that beautiful bean footage, please.
There it is. There go the article.
Okay, now we all grown.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler has been in the league a little longer than Andrew Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you put your pants on one leg at a time, just like I do, pal. And for you to come in that practice and go ballistic the way you did and talk stupid and tell me I'm soft and tell him I'm a bitch and telling me I ain't going to be worth a damn and then I dap you off after?
You don't see no type of hands? Boy, I would have Chris.
You ain't see me, man.
Chris Childs is in the building.
Jimmy Butler. Hey, see your boy outside, away from these reporters, away from all the cameras, away from the telephones. Hey, see me outside. I want my round, bro. I want my round. You really dapped this man off, and then y'all had the audacity to tell some people that you was energized about how he handled the practice. This man talking about y'all effing need me. Y'all can't effing win without me.
But then he showed it too, G.
Man, grow some nuts, man.
But G, he
man,
showed
this
it too.
Man dropped his nut sack all over your head.
G, he took the third string.
G, they provoked him. He walked in practice, G.
Listen, bro.
They provoked him.
Listen, Cards in the town.
He said he could get it.
Andrew Wiggins,
he said he could get it.
This tells me a lot about y'all too. Y'all not a competitor. You must have been raised in a house full of women. Ooh. And you are found on aisle 12, the toilet paper aisle.
Man, G,
you can't call nobody
out.
You're
bad.
You're bad.
And you're going to continue to be bad. And I hope you get your life together.
G, but think about it like this. Not only did he talk trash to him, he went and proved it.
Got the second and third stringers and say, look, come ball with your boy. Your boy a competitor. Your boy going to compete. As a matter of fact, I won't stick Carl Anthony Towns. Now, Carl Anthony Towns is 6'10", 6'11". Jimmy Butler is 6'5". This man got 5 to 6 inches over Jimmy Butler. The reporter said every time Carl Anthony Towns got the ball, he kicked it out.
Didn't want it.
Didn't want it. He kicked it out like a hot potato.
No sir.
They said 2 times he did try to score. He missed terribly bad.
No point.
My point is, Carl Anthony Towns, you need to grow a nutsack if you got one. Andrew Wiggins, just like Jimmy Butler said in the interview. Who's the most talented? Carl Anthony Towns. Who's the most God-gifted? Andrew Wiggins. But who competes and plays the hardest? Me. That man said he sacrificed his body and his time and his love for the game every damn practice and every time they play in that 82-game schedule. Carl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins, your reputation is ruined. And all I can say is the Timberwolves got a piss-poor chance of competing in that top heavyweights. That's just terrible what I witnessed over the last 2 days with the Minnesota organization. And if they smart, you better trade Jimmy Butler and get him the hell out of there for somebody to get whooped.
Oh, I know what they just made it easier for the Pelicans.
Listen. P.J. Brown said cat too big to be that soft. He also said raising the house with a bunch of women. He laughing. Yeah. Here's the deal. When you got a guy in Jimmy Butler who comes in there, and first of all, Big Cat, you called him out. You told that man he can get buckets too. And he gets the third stringers out there. And he beats you and Andrew Wiggins, who the Timberwolves gave the money to. They made you 2 guys. The guys. And y'all go out there and get beat by Jimmy Butler like that. This is why that man said he wanted to be traded before he walked inside any practices. That man knew from last year what this team was about. He knew that. This is why he told Tom Thibodeau and the rest of the ownership, I need to be out of here. And you need to get him out of there. So he goes in practice and handles business. And lets everybody know that he outworking the 2 guys y'all made the max guys. Now, I'm telling y'all right now, if you're Minnesota,
it's a damn shame what happened.
It's a damn shame what happened at practice today. And you need to start questioning yourselves as far as the guys you gave the money to. You got to start putting a little more expectations on their plate. Right now, you signed these 2 guys because you made these ties 2 first overall picks, and they got all the talent in the world. But right now, this ain't about their talent. This is about them competing at the highest level now and being able to win. And right now, it's on display. Because right now, at the end of the day, Andrew Wiggins has not lived up to that bill that he has supposed to be.
All the goddamn talent
in the world. All that talent in the world. He hasn't grown a muscle since he's been in the NBA. He came in that round.
No. I give it to him. He is a whole lot bigger. He
cut. Cut.
Look,
solid.
Go look at what he was at Kansas and look at him body now. It's different. Hell, he got a little new growth.
Well, I mean, what I'm getting at is...
And he need to cut them damn braids off.
He cut them braids off. The fucking braids is bad.
They're bad. They're terrible. I mean, you got Buku Negro every time I see him.
He looked like Brandon Fred Jones with braids.
Boy, stop.
I remember that shit in high school.
My shit was cool. He dripped.
No hang time at the beginning.
Shit, boy. I put them on. Them shells on.
Yeah, I'm saying you put the little. Yeah.
I put them shells on there, boy. I thought the chain, boy.
Disclaimer: Fred was the first kid I know with no hang time with shells on his braids at first. But he was the first one at Higgins with shells in his head. I give him that.
Boy. I thought the chain, boy.
I give him that.
Guy. But look. They bad. Andrew Wiggins, you've been in the league now, going on this is his 5th season going into now. And Big Cat, you came right behind him. At the end of the day, you got to get it together. And if you're the Timberwolves organization, you need to be embarrassed. As a whole front office, as the staff, as a crew, like Tupac said. See what I'm saying? You need to be embarrassed. For a guy that came in here who is the 30th overall pick in several draft past, who went to a JUCO, who get to Marquette, and come in here, and he's outplaying the guy that you guys made your franchise guys. Trade him. Miami want to put off on the table. You send him to Miami. First and foremost, I would love the Pelicans to trade for him. I would love to see him down here in New Orleans. I would love to see him and Anthony Davis.
Cause look, I'll tell you one thing.
I'll take it.
AD ain't gonna take that. You talk crazy to AD. AD gonna meet me outside, partner.
Meet me outside. But first of all, I don't think he about to go out there and beat AD. I think he has a little more respect for AD and wants to go out there and be a competitor and win. So at the end of the day, if you're Mickey Loomis and you're Dale Demps, look around. Get a Jimmy Butler here in New Orleans. You got some assets. Trade a first-round pick. You can trade. Solomon Hill no getting haircut ass.
His swag, it has to be the worst in the NBA.
I don't know. Russell Wilson with these damn Giddy Girl outfits he be wearing.
Russell Wilson?
I mean, shit. Westbrook. Tomato.
Westbrook just different. He just go by this thing different.
Where I'm from, that ain't good different. That's Giddy Girl.
Listen, Solomon Hill, he ain't never got a haircut since he been in New Orleans. I don't know if he ever found a barber.
No.
His head on grow.
And they got some nice barbers in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I can direct you in the right path.
Listen, they got a
got
bunch
two
of
classmates for you.
Yeah. Listen, they got a bunch of them. His head on grow. It's like he just come out of bed and just...
he cut his own hair. I'm gonna tell you what he do. He get the guard. He just
he do something.
Ready to go.
And he just leave out the door. He don't line it. He don't line nothing.
He bad.
Okay.
You send him a first round pick, a protected pick for the next year draft, and you re-sign Jimmy Butler. And guess what? You got Drew Holiday. You got Jimmy Butler. You got Anthony Davis. We gonna play basketball, baby.
Man, look at man. I'm gonna tell you what it is. You could only have 12 to 15 people on the NBA roster.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Butler took guys that's going to be playing in the G League in a couple of months. He's the only starter that wasn't playing with the starting five. So that means you took your 6-man,
right,
and you had the tools to come sub you out. And this man dominated you. Not only did he dominate you on the court, he dominated you by hitting you where it hurts. Every bucket he scored, he's looking at the GM, calling him out. Looking at the owner, talking shit to him like you do what I do.
You pay this guy?
You know what I'm saying? And that's the ultimate. Look, you
pay this guy?
You acting like I'm not the one paying you,
right?
And you telling me you need me. Boy, without my signature on that check, that motherfucker gonna bounce more than a trampoline park. And you have the audacity to talk to me that way? Look here, you been gone. But not only do you do that, and like G said, not only do you take it and say, all right, good practice. First of all, no good nothing to me. Hey, look, I need some Latrell Sprewell to come out you. He played for the Timberwolves. He played in that same arena. You need to transfer some of that. Because, look, you should have started swinging on that man right there on the court. Maybe you would have got a little respect. But not only do you dap him up, the next day, and you hear everything he says, the next day, he calls a player meeting. And who the first two to show up? Call Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins. I got chips and goddamn hummus. Like it's goddamn the wine and cheese factory going on. He embarrassed you. First of all, you can't go in no hood no more. I don't give a damn how against you try to see him. You can't go in no hood no more because look, we see what just happened. Look,
listen, what they just proved let me tell you what they proved. They proved at the end of the day that they are here because of their talent, but they're not willing to work to get to the next level. That's what they proved. At the end of the day, listen, dog, Jimmy Butler, we ain't got nothing to talk about, dog. We ain't catching them hands. First of all, let me tell you something. Let me tell you how cold Jimmy Butler is. Jimmy Butler called Rachel Nichols before he even went to the building. He knew, he knew.
So you saying it was a publicity stunt?
He knew he was going to do that.
He knew he was
going to do that.
So I'm saying.
He had Rachel Nichols.
No, that's not what he said in the interview. That's not what he said. He said when he got in there, he said he got overwhelmed with emotion and... So,
man,
I think they was already there.
They was already there.
Because they knew some problem was going to happen.
How she going to be there?
Because, listen, let me tell you something. If I was coming to Pelicans and Andy Davis or Drew Holiday was having episodes and they had all kind of stuff surrounding him leading up to the season and I knew it was about to be his first day of practice, I'm going to make sure I'm there because I don't know what might happen.
Man, G, look.
I won't be part of that. I won't see that.
She was there.
G, I'm about to.
I don't think he called her.
G, I'm about to put you. I'm about to give you all the smoke, G. I know me and you cool.
Right.
And let's say, I don't know. I get along with every damn body. But let's say I didn't like a certain somebody.
Say you ain't like Fred.
Yeah, say I ain't like Fred.
Fred got beat out because he drank too much bleach.
And he coaching offense, and he want to run the ball, and he talk about all how he gonna do such and such. And I know I ain't opened up nothing yet. And I say, in the game, and we leading up to the game, and I call you and say, G, get here early. It's about to be ridiculous what I'm about to do. And you come out, soon you touch down, you see me at halftime, I'm over, you see me on, I'm going to respect the little rule line going past the 50-yard. You see me at the 50-yard line pointing at Fred. You know what I'm saying? Kids coming up, you know what I'm saying? Man, y'all ain't even built like that. Boy, I'm about to show you. You know what I'm saying? What you going to do? Matter of fact, hey, we don't need no more pregame. Start the clock right now. We about to show y'all. You know what I'm saying? You like, man, I ain't going nowhere. I ain't gonna say, look, don't even coin toss. They get to kick they can have the ball both halves. That's how bad we about to do them. Let's go to the sideline. We don't need no national anthem or play that while the whistle is getting blown. Let's go.
Right.
And then we come out and then we do what I said we were gonna do. You gonna be like, man, hey, I was coming there anyway, but now I came there extra amp because I got the tip that he about to go all the way in. And I think that might have been a situation. I think, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You going there because I don't think you was going there because of Jimmy Butler. You was going there to see if he really was going to show up.
Right.
You was going there to see if he was going to show up because, like, you asked to be traded 3 weeks ago. It's the first day of camp. You just going to see if he there.
Yeah.
And you get that call. Oh, not only am I there, it's, in the words of Kevin Hart, it's about to go down. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
And then to give the perfect interview right after it happened, yeah, baby, that's all stage.
He gave the interview.
Because if you as emotional as you said, you don't want to talk no more.
You don't want to talk no more.
You didn't whoop the ass. You didn't talk all this shit. You about to go get in your car and go home. No. I don't know if he married or not. If he married, he going home and take it out on his wife. If he not married, he going to the strip club and making it rain.
Making it rain. Pick your poison. But for him to get an interview afterwards in a non-emotional fashion,
right?
Oh, it was staged, baby. That means he went in there and handled business and did what he thought he was trying to do. And yeah, he was full of emotion. Of course he was. But he handled business.
Akeem say, so y'all just going to overlook that Twitter beef between Mike Thomas and Josh Norman.
Listen, Josh Norman is a prima donna. He's not like that. He wants to be like in the media all the time. He wants to stay relevant. He know what he's doing. Stop giving him so much publicity. He's not worthy of it. Now, he talking about Michael Thomas. Boy, how the hell you going to say something like this? And this man leading the NFL in receptions, and I think 3rd in the league in receiving yards. I think 5th in touchdowns. Stop it, Josh Norman. You're not even worthy. You're not even a top 10 corner in the league no more. You better stay woke and be glad you got that contract you got, because after it's up, baby,
it's over.
It's over. It's over.
It's over. Now, look. Now, I will say this, though. I've never seen nobody tap out healthy. Mike Thomas made this boy tap out. Literally. Tap out. Like, I watched the first time they tried to give Mike Thomas the ball. Man, was Josh Norman holding on for dear life. I'm talking about he was holding on like Jesus said. Look, it's the rapture and the gates closing and the last little ladder of people is getting in and everybody like, look, I got to get my spot. He was holding on that tight. And then by the end of the second quarter, before halftime, I'm looking on the sideline. That 24 is just sitting there looking. Defense on the field. Defense on the field.
He ain't injured.
Matter of fact, it was the possession after Drew Brees broke the touchdown. Right. The passing yard record. And he just sitting there just looking. And then Michael Thomas, he one of these young kids. They been about this social media stuff. Stay in your lane. Look, if Facebook is all you know,
stay on Facebook.
And you've been with Facebook the whole time, live in Facebook. Look, if you trying to jump out to the Twitter raw, if you ain't got the facts or the comebacks or people your followers ain't gonna surround you and boost you up like that, look, don't send that cryptic tweet. When you send that cryptic tweet, They're going to get met with some bad heat.
Let's get some straight.
And then he deleted. That was the killer part.
Yeah,
he deleted it.
You know what? I'm so tired of these big time players in the league. They always come out and stick their chests out and tweet something reckless, and then you go back and delete it. Boy, screenshotting is at an all-time high. Be a man.
That's just like
drop your nuts and leave them there.
That's just like
I don't have a problem with that. Be you.
That's just like talking stuff to the school bully, and you get one good lick and you haul ass.
That's it.
And you don't come, and you know what I'm saying, you need to transfer school and all that stuff.
At the end of the
boy,
day,
you ain't get no respect.
At the end of the day, he's not going to get no respect. First of all, you're getting beat every week. That's first and foremost. Every Redskins fan, I know because I follow him on Facebook, they want you gone. You're out here looking like a D'Angelo Hall out here or something like that.
Nah, D'Angelo Hall was decent with the Redskins.
Until
DeAndre Hopkins.
Hey, DeAndre is DA. Can you blame that DeAndre?
I'm just saying, when you look at the Redskins and you start saying to yourself, man, look, Josh Norman ain't that guy. Listen, he had one very good statistical year in Carolina that he got the franchise tag. They rescinded it. They paid Josh, and Redskins scooped him up. But ever since then, Josh Norman has not been that guy. He's starting to remind a lot of people, if you go back and look at the 90s, that year that the Dallas Cowboys won the Super Bowl, and a guy opposite of Deion named Larry Brown. Everybody thought he was cool. He goes to Oakland, he ain't that guy.
No. Josh Norman was that guy in Carolina. He was the guy in Carolina.
One season.
You know what I'm saying? It was one season, and then his first 2 seasons with the Redskins, he was the guy.
This is what, this second, third season now?
No, this is not his second, it's like his 4th season.
No, right?
Yeah.
Ain't that long.
Look at it. Yeah.
Josh Norman's probably been the Red. This is probably in his 3rd year.
No. Played 3 years with Kirk Cousins.
Josh Norman. This is probably his what?
Y'all giving Josh Norman too much damn attention. Moving on.
That's Fred trying to prove you right.
Come on, man. Y'all giving this man too much attention. Man, he fell off.
He in his 3rd season. He fell off.
He fell off.
2018.
Come on, man. Y'all bad. Y'all bad.
3rd season. So, yeah, so this is your fault.
2018 is year 3rd. We giving Josh Norman too much attention.
Too much attention.
He not even cool.
Too much attention. Too much attention.
Not even cool.
Before we close out, though, I want to talk about an upset alert, possibly.
Well,
we got the Terrebonne Tigers going into East St. John this week, tomorrow night. Terrebonne is 6-0, ranked number 4 in 5A, hitting on all cylinders. Do I think Terrebonne is the better team? Yes, I do. But I think East St. John is a team that you cannot go into this game thinking you just going to win this game easily. East St. John took Destrehan toe-to-toe last week. Probably should have won the game. Mm-hmm. I think Terrebonne better be very careful on tomorrow night going down there to reserve to play these people. We know East St. John got the talent. Brandon Brown getting that thing rolling, you know. But I think Terrebonne better be careful going into that tomorrow night because Brandon Brown got these boys playing inspired football. And I think if Terrebonne overlook these people and start overlooking people to week 10 when they play Destrehan, you can mess around and see an upset alert on tomorrow night down there in reserve, baby. Ooh. Just saying.
So that's where you going to be at this week?
Well, no. I'm going to be at Landry Walker and John Everett. I'm going to be at Landry Walker and John Everett. But I wish I could be at East St. John and Terrebonne. I'm going to be down here in Marrero, baby.
Marrero. Cruising down the street.
Real slow. Going to see the number 1 linebacker in the state, Dante Starks, Travis Mumphrey, Kane Williams, the DB, who I'm in love with, knows Michael Sam. So it's going to be a hell of a game tomorrow night. But I'm just saying, watch out for East St. John tomorrow against Terrebonne. Watch out. Just watch out is all I'm saying.
Coach in.
Man, my 10th year coaching. And to have 2 kids just do something that, for me, I've had guys make all-state, all-district all the time, play at the next level. But this is the first time I've had a national syndicate come and honor 2 players, and that's Ishmael Sopsa and Devontae Lee. Today got their Under Armour jersey.
Oh, yeah.
Today,
big time.
I wish y'all could have heard Devontae Lee and Ishmael's speech. Gave a whole bunch of credit to their parents, their families who pushed them. They also gave a whole bunch of credit to their team and their coaches. But the thing that I think that they overlooked was overlooked, especially the way how recruiting goes now. How everybody's all on social media stuff. They talked about enjoying this moment with this team because they understand the next level is all business. So enjoying this last few moments with the team that they got right there, that says something phenomenal. And then, like, just think about it. It's rare to have All-American, a national All-American at your school in a generation. This is the third time in, let's see, Tay's a sophomore now, so this is the third time in 2.5 years that somebody from a little town of A-Meat at the little high school of A-Meat, well, the student body may be 500.
Right.
They got a national honor like this. Right. So that's real big for that. But you know, and I'm just like abundantly proud of those kids and where they come from.
Right.
And to have this happen the day before we go play a game against a team, I don't know what the hell y'all was thinking, but scheduling us for homecoming, that's y'all ass. You don't do that shit. You don't do that shit.
That's y'all ass.
You got 2 more home games.
Oh,
and you got 2 more home games.
Man, you never know what went on today in that though. You never know what went in that.
The school picks its own homecoming.
I'm saying you never know what went into that. You never know.
You got 2 more home games. You played 5 games at home. You played against one team that ain't win a damn game in 4 years, and you say, you know what? A-Meat, that's the one. You pick a homecoming game by trying to win.
That's the one.
You come on. You pick a homecoming game like, yeah, this game where we can win. Fans gonna come here, be supportive and all that stuff. You pick us.
They ready to get routed.
Oh really?
They ready to get routed.
Oh shit.
Well, listen, man. Look, I'm looking forward to that Tiger Stadium. You know, Saturday night, man. LSU, you know, went to Gainesville, came up short.
How, not to cut you off, but how fitting was it? The hometown favorite, Brad Stewart, with the pick 6 to win the game in front of Ed Orgeron, them who played around him with the recruiting when he was coming out of senior.
Well,
he made the play.
Well, it wasn't Ed Orgeron's fault.
Oh yeah, I mean, just saying.
It was Ed Orgeron.
Really, it was Corey Raymond.
But come up short.
Gonna drink this tea.
But you got a game. You know they're gonna be the biggest game. You know, second biggest game of this season in Georgia, coming to LSU. Man, it's gonna be a big time game. I expect LSU to recover. I expect LSU to bounce back. Not trying to say that LSU's going to win every game, but I do think that this game here is a game that they're going to reflect on. You know, a lot of people got a lot of hype and penetration around this game. Georgia is a real solid football team. You know, from Jake Fromm to the receivers and the running backs, and their defense is going to be stout. But I think that this is the first time Georgia receives their first loss of the season. LSU wins a close one.
LSU win, man. LSU win.
They win a close one.
They had a team loss against Florida. Joe Burrow, his first 2 interceptions. It was a lot of things that went into that sucker.
Yeah.
You know, this is 7 different offensive line that been thrown out there. No chemistry yet because of injuries and stuff against that speed front. Hey.
But Ed Orgeron talked about it going into the game that he was worried about Florida pass rush. But I got LSU winning this game 23-17.
I got them winning 2017.
23-17.
I don't care about the points. I just want to win.
You want to win.
And I feel a Scholar Green-esque play being made in this game.
And how about this before we leave? Giles gets his number 7 stripped in the middle of the season.
Whew. Hey, what? Look, first of all, I don't see what you talk about biggest disappointment. For Hoko, hey, he doing his thing. Burrow, He's doing his A. Giles, I don't think you got more than 3 catches on the year. Stop giving this boy a tick. Put Jamar Chase in that spot. You did what I thought y'all should have did from the first time. You brought Devontae Kirkland over from the defensive side, put him in wide receiver. For those who never seen him play high school football, I'm gonna tell you, he's probably the best player in space on the LSU football team.
Got to put it all together Saturday night, baby. Down in Tiger Stadium.
There
it is.
GSportz, man.
Boy Fred.
Coach Hurricane.
See y'all next Thursday, man. FanView. Real Fans Talk Sports. New Orleans Talk Network.
Talk to me now.
Cruising down the street. Real slow. What them fellas be yelling? Gonna be a big time game tomorrow night. Thanks for walking. Eric.
Ballman when Higgins played that shit, boy. Oh, that was. Hey.